This story would begin at the end of the battle against the legendary Saiyan Broly. Several months had passed since that battle, but in all this time, the God Destroyer Beerus was very thoughtful. Mr. Beerus, what's wrong? I haven't noticed that you're very pensive. Is something wrong with you? I'm thinking about the Saiyans, Goku and Broly. What's wrong with them, Mr. Beerus? Goku's power surpassed most of the God Destroyers with the Ultra Instinct, but Broly's power even surpassed Goku by the most worrisome thing, that is, Broly doesn't control his legendary power. You are correct, Mr. Beerus. Do you want to train the Saiyan Broly? No, Whis. What I really want is to put an end to those two annoyances. Because of Son Goku, we were involved in the problem of the power tournament. Mr. Beerus, did you forget that Son Goku is the only friend of the King of Everything? Of course not, Whis. That's why I'm thinking. I don't know what I should do. At that moment, a guy would arrive to the planet. So much had been his power that neither Beerus nor Whis had felt his power. Well, apparently after millions of years, we see each other again, Beerus. Beerus would turn to observe where the voice was coming from, but at the moment he recognized Moro. Beerus and Whis changed their expression to a much more serious and worried one. Moro, how the hell are you in this place? It's a long story, but I was able to recover a part of my powers, although my current power does not even compare to half the power I once possessed. Moro, former destroyer of universes, or better known as the Angel of Death, what do you have to offer in Universe 7? Don't worry, Mr. Whis. I just found your conversation interesting. I can help you if you wish. How can you help us? As you remember, I possess one of the most powerful mental powers in the multiverse. If I gather great power, I can create false memories in Daishinken and Zeno-sama. I hear you. Go on. What kind of memories? So they won't go on so suspicious. We can lock them in some other dimension and tell Zeno-sama's dwarf that he got locked up. Your plan is wonderful, but if the King of Everything sends the High Priest to free Son Goku... Don't be in a hurry, Beerus. Everything is calculated. In the place where we'll lock them up, we will put this. Moro would take out a broken sword from an energy sphere. What's that supposed to be? Is that what I think it is? Apparently you remember it, Whis. After all, it is information that only angels possess. What is it, Whis? That is a cursed seal. Its negative energy is so much that not even a king is able to escape from the place where the seal is placed. And if any being from the outside wants to remove it, it'll be disintegrated. Excellent. Then, what are we waiting for? Let's do it immediately. I can't allow Son Goku and Saiyan Broly to become more powerful. But what will you gain? You'll know that later. But for now, I will leave this place. Moro would open a portal and enter the portal and disappear without a trace. Whis and Beerus would quickly go to planet Earth, arriving in approximately 27 minutes. Both would arrive at Bulma's house. Mr. Whis, Mr. Beerus, long time no see. I'll bring you something to eat. This is not the time for that. I need to have a meeting with all the Z warriors except for Son Goku. Bulma, noticing that Mr. Beerus was very serious, would organize the meeting immediately. At the moment that all the warriors arrived, Beerus would begin to speak. I've been thinking about Son Goku and Saiyan Broly, and I've decided to lock them in the time room. But what are you saying? My father saved us in the exhibition tournament. Tournament that he created. Vegeta, don't you want to be the number one of Universe 7? From what I have investigated, I have been able to realize that all the warriors that have appeared come to this planet because of Mr. Goku. They were all discussing the subject, and after 2 hours of talking, they all agreed to lock Son Goku in the time room. I hope you are ready. We'll attack Son Goku right now. Whis, locate Goku right now. Whis would look in his staff. I got it, Mr. Beerus. Mr. Goku is on planet the Saiyan Broly. They're both training. I can't allow this. Today, we will exterminate with that plague. Everyone would leave towards Broly's planet. They'd all arrive in a few moments. When they arrived, Goku would approach. Hello, friends. Long time no see. Goku was not able to finish his sentence because at that very moment, the God Destroyer Beerus would give him a furtive blow, sending him crashing into the mountains that were around him. Attack! Don't let them transform. Vegeta would throw himself against Broly, as well as Gohan. Both were putting in trouble the Saiyan who was at the base mode. Beerus would rush against Son Goku, however Goku was able to pass into Super Saiyan Blue maximum power, hitting him back and also would make him fall into the ground, creating a large crater. I don't know what's happened to them, but they intend to kill us. I won't let them do it! Goku at an incredible speed was able to give a few blows to Vegeta and Gohan. Broly, it's time. Don't hold back. If we don't fight with everything we have, this will be the end of us. Broly would begin to transform into the legendary Super Saiyan. The whole planet was being affected due to such an increase of power. Lava was coming out from all over the planet until Broly had finished his transformation. Launching an attack against the first guy he saw, and that's right, Broly launched himself against Beerus, who was covering his body, but the power was so much that it would send him a few meters back. I didn't want this to happen. It was a simple Saiyan who would come close to the power of a god. Beerus would release all his power, launching himself against Broly. Goku and Vegeta began with a very close battle. At that very moment, Gohan was not able to do anything because he didn't have enough power. Gohan would be filled with anger and impotence. Being able to reach the beast mode for the first time, everyone would turn to observe the new transformation of Gohan. This power is to finish you, Father! I hope you're ready! Gohan would throw himself in support of Vegeta, who was getting more and more injured by Son Goku's blows. While the three of them were exchanging blows, Goku would say to them, Why are you doing this to me and Broly? What have we done? Because you are new enemies and are always coming. Because of you, Trunks' future was destroyed by Zeno-sama. In the battle with Cell, you never had any intentions of helping me. You're not a good father, and I don't want you to be in my daughter's growth. I don't want her to know that her grandfather is a monster. Goku was so hurt by the words of his son Gohan that even his neglected his defense a little, being hit by Vegeta and Gohan. At that moment, he would charge a powerful Manakasapo. That power left Goku on the verge of death, and that he would return to his base state. Meanwhile, with the Battle of Beerus, Broly would be giving a beating to the most powerful destroyer god of the 12 universes. That's why I was worried about you damn Saiyans. But let's see how you like this. Check out my new transformation. The power of Beerus began to rise in an incredible way. That's right, the power god Beerus was transforming, making the entire Universe 7 shudder for such a bestial power. Broly would be a little surprised by the pressure that Beerus released, but without caring so much, Broly would launch the attack, being able to hit him with a blow in his face. But Beerus would not move an inch. I realize that your power is nothing with my true power. Beerus would begin to massacre Broly with blows, making him fall to the ground again and again. Broly, on the ground badly wounded, could no longer do anything against the god Beerus, who would rise up to the top of the planet and begin to charge a large sphere of destructive energy. Beerus would launch such a bestial power. However, to everyone's surprise, Broly was able to stop all that power. I'll not die here. I swear I'll finish you with my own hands, you damn cat. You don't have enough power to back up your words. Beerus' attack would explode, creating an impressive explosion. Such an explosion would make everything around him be destroyed. And when the smoke dissipated, the powerful Broly would still be standing. But at that moment, he would fall to the ground out of combat. It's time, Whis. Let's take them to the room. Whis would take all those present, leaving to the temple of Kami-sama. At that moment, Whis would modify the room, making it much more resistant and powerful. Beerus would throw both Saiyans inside. At the moment, leaving Beerus would destroy the entrance. Whis, activate the seal. As ordered by Beerus-sama. Whis would begin to recite some strange words in the language of the gods. At that moment, the sword would become a dark energy in the form of a barrier covering all the room that Whis had mentioned. We finally got rid of those bastards. There won't be a headache anymore. Whis and Beerus would return to their planet. Meanwhile, with Moore, he had observed everything from a crystal sphere. Ha 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 ha! Damn cat, you fell into my trap. Now those two Saiyans to protect this universe, they won't be able to stop me. Only those two were able to do it. as one had the blood of the Saiyan god while the other possessed the unlimited power of the legendary Yamoshi. Moro would stand up and create a technique in the palm of his hand. With the power granted to me by my negative energy, I, Moro, I wish the king of everything and Daishinkan to believe that Son Goku is training in a very special dimension, and has destroyed the entrance and is locked in forever. That ball of energy would come out as a great speed to the palace of the king of everything, Zeno-sama. At that moment, the new memories that Moro had created had been introduced in the most powerful beings of all this multiverse. Finally, my plan will begin. To take over this multiverse, and nothing, and nobody will be able to avoid it. Returning to the dimension of time, Goku and Broly had already awakened, but both were very badly wounded. That's right, the power they had used and both had too much, and so much that even for their warrior bodies, they couldn't heal their wounds. However, at that moment, a voice would sound throughout the place. I will help you get out of this place and to recover. Both Saiyans had healed all their wounds, but something to notice was the powerful Zenkai that both of them had, since the power had increased in an impressive way. Thank you very much for healing us, but who are you? I am the creator of the Super Dragon Balls. My name is Zarma. Goku could be surprised to know that the creator of the Super Dragon Balls had helped them. They must become much more powerful because, in order for them to get out of here, their power must surpass the power of a king of all. Don't worry about that. Broly and I will become very powerful. I swear, I will end the life of that wretched cat myself. Goku and Broly begin with their great training, in which both Saiyans would improve every day. After spending approximately 2 years inside the time room, Goku and Broly had already obtained incredible powers. So much so that even Broly had mastered his legendary state, being able to combine it with the divine ki, while Goku had mastered the Ultra Instinct to 100%, wanted to take it to a new level. That's right, to take it to the Angelic Ultra Instinct. Since the Ultra Instinct of the gods and angels is very different, Goku could defeat a god of destruction without any difficulty, but against any angel he would be defeated. Meanwhile, outside the dimension of the void were all of Goku's friends who were wondering if they had done the right thing. Of course we did the right thing. Because of that wretch, he's always died. You're right, Kakarot was nothing but a nuisance for all of us. It's better for everyone that he's dead. They must have already spent 2 years inside the time room, so they probably already died. I'm sorry, Kakarot, but it must be the most powerful Saiyan in all the universes. Meanwhile, on the planet of Beerus, both deities in the room until one moment to another, Moro would have arrived at his planet. Apparently, they have locked up those wretches. That's right. I don't like to say it, but it was all thanks to you, Moro. You don't have to worry. In a very short time, you'll be able to return the favor. Beerus would not understand Moro's words, but before he could ask anything, Moro would disappear from Beerus's planet. At that instant, a portal would open on the planet of Beerus, and the deities of the whole realm would come out. Beerus would stand in front of them in fear. Daishinkan-sama and Zeno-sama, what is the honor of your visit? I want to see my friend, Goku. But I remember that he was trapped in a dimension, and I have personally come to destroy that dimension to free my friend. Beerus would begin to tremble, since in his plans was that Daishinkan would try to open that dimension. I understand. Then let's go to the planet Earth. Of course, Whis. But don't worry, we can go alone. Daishinkan, together with Zeno-sama and his guardians, would go to planet Earth. What do we do, Whis? If Zeno-sama finds out what we did to his only friend, he'll destroy this whole universe. You don't have to worry, Mr. Beerus. The seal that Moro gave you was a king-level seal. That is to say that not even a king with his maximum power would be able to leave that dimension. Are you sure about everything you're telling me, Whis? That's right, Mr. Beerus, so you don't have to worry. Daishinkan and Zeno-sama would arrive to planet Earth, directly to Kari-sama's palace. Everyone would arrive quickly in front of the door of the time room, but when Daishinkan tried to connect with all the dimensions, it was impossible. That's right, the seal would be activated. But what is this? Is this a king-level seal? What's wrong, Dai? Can't you connect with the dimensions? I'm sorry, my lord, but it's very impossible for me to connect with this dimension. Apparently, it has a very powerful negative seal. I'll try with my ability to erase everything. Zeno-sama would approach trying to remove the seal, but even the Guardians were surprised to realize that nothing had happened. That's right, the power of erasing a king has been insufficient against the negative seal of Moro. My friend Goku, I really wanted to rescue you. Zeno would concentrate great mental power to be able to contact Son Goku. However, he would only communicate for 7 seconds and the connection would be lost. Great, Zeno-sama! We're able to connect with Son Goku. That's right, he's training, since apparently the seal can only be destroyed from the inside. Goku would have time to tell him everything that the destroyer god Beerus had done to him. Broly was able to contact me with Zeno-sama. Apparently he's looking for a way to get us out of this place. I hope you're right, because I didn't hear anything. Goku and Broly would continue training. Both Saiyans did not have to worry about time or food since Zeno-sama had given them the gift of eternal youth, and they could not die of old age or hunger. By spending approximately 100 years in the time room, Goku was able to take his Ultra Instinct to a new level. That's right, Goku was able to access the Ultra Angelic Instinct. On Broly's side, he had managed to combine his legendary transformation with his Super Saiyan Blue, having a gigantic power that no god would be able to defeat. An angel using all his power would be able to defeat Broly. Both warriors continued to increase their powers much more. Meanwhile, in a faraway dimension in a very distant place was Moro. It's time. Go and start destroying this whole universe. If you find the destroyer god Beerus, finish him off. As you order, sir. I'll make chaos all over the Universe 7. At last, my plan to rule this entire universe has begun. That warrior named Nikita would begin to destroy hundreds of planets, reducing them to simple atoms. For 3 days that Nikita had destroyed more than 50% of the universe of Beerus, Whis would become aware of everything that was happening. Mr. Beerus, it seems we have a warrior that's destroying this entire universe. That miserable worm. I don't care who he is, but I'll annihilate him with my own hands. At that moment, Whis together with Beerus would leave towards the energy of that subject. At the moment of arriving, both were surprised when observing a being of human appearance. I don't care how a simple human has achieved this, but today you will die. Beerus would stretch out his hand. Before creation comes destruction. Hawkeye! However, nothing happened, leaving both Beerus and Whis surprised. Should that be the end of me? But how is that possible? Then I'll exterminate you with my own hands. Let's see if you have the power to do it, you damn cat. Beerus would throw himself against Nikita, but he would dodge each one of his blows, and in exchange, Beerus would receive a punch, until from one moment to another, Nikita would charge a great power in his blow, hitting him in his face. That's right, the destroyer god had been sent to fly hundreds of meters all over that place. You better transform, or Nikita the Exterminator will finish you off. Beerus, a little surprised that the guy knows about his transformation, would take it lying down, turning into Super Beerus. I hope you're ready, because when I transform, I can't hold back. Beerus, being in front of Nikita, would throw a sphere of ki all over his face. That's what you get for underestimating me, you bastard! A big explosion would be created. However, among all the fire and smoke, a voice can be heard. That's not a real attack. The only thing you do is to raise the dust. Pay attention. This way you have to make an attack. Nikita began to move at a great speed, appearing in front of Beerus, giving him a shrapnel of blows. And when he was about to fall, he would teleport, continuing with his attack, raising him to the sky. And at that moment, he would charge a small wave of energy. However, the power condensed in that attack was supreme. Beerus would try to dodge it, but it would be impossible. That's right, Beerus was completely hit by that great attack. The power of Nikita would not raise so much smoke because it was focused on a single being. I can't believe the ki power that guy possesses. It will really end Beerus' life. His guardian angel cannot let this happen. Nikita was approaching Beerus very slowly. Beerus had even lost his transformation and was on the verge of death. You fucking monster! You're wrong. I am the same demon. Nikita at that moment was charging the final blow to end the life of Beerus. However, Whis would appear on the battlefield. That's right, the Guardian Angel would get into the battle pose to save his god Destroyer. Meanwhile, in the time room, it has already been 1,000 years since Goku and Broly were locked up. Both had already obtained an incredible power. However, again, both would hear the voice of Zarma.
They are close to achieving supreme power, but for the next and final transformation, they need their tails.
Do we need our tail?
That's right. Your tail will be the trigger of your power. Our tail only allows us to transform into Zarus, and with that, we'll become even slower, even if our power increases. I am the creator of the Super Dragon Balls, have all the knowledge of the Saiyan race, so trust me.
Zarma would make his tail grow. Both Saiyans were a little confused, however, began to train. In order to not lose consciousness both, first transform yourself into a monkey, and I'll try to stop you.
Understood. If necessary, use much of your power to knock me out of combat.
Broly would begin to observe the artificial moon until he would transform into a gigantic Ozaru, which would begin to destroy everything in its path. Goku would try to calm him down, but when he realized that it was useless, he would leave him out of combat, and so they continued for several months until one day, Broly could transform into a Zaru. But there was something different. Broly was able to control him, and at that moment all his fur would change to a green color. What's happening to Broly? That's right. Broly at that moment would create a huge explosion by releasing all his power. When all the smoke dissipated, Broly could be seen in Super Saiyan 4 Legendary. The power he gave off was incredible. Goku was very surprised. So this is what Zarma's talking about. That's why he wanted us to get our tails back.
It's your moment, Goku. Reach this transformation as well.
This time the roles had changed. That's right, Goku would look at the full moon and try to control himself, and Broly would leave him out of combat. So some months passed in the same way until Goku was able to achieve it the same way the powerful Super Saiyan Phase 4. The both of them were impressed, but both beings had already lost the notion of time. At that moment, Zarma's voice would resound again through that place.
You have achieved it. Now is what I wished. That you will be able to reach Super Saiyan's Phase 4. Now train for the last year. After that, you will be ready to leave this place.
Goku and Broly excitedly would train. Meanwhile, with the battle of Nikita against Whis, it would be seen how Nikita was granting a beating to the Angel of Universe 7. I can't believe the power this guy has. He's defeating me quickly. I have no choice but to use my staff. Whis would use his staff to turn back time, but something incredible would happen. The guy possessed one of the dimensional eyes. That's right, when Whis turned back time, Nikita would counteract that power with his eye.
Don't think that you'll leave this place. This will be the day of his death.
I can't believe this guy's really going to kill us. At the moment that everything seemed lost, his last hope would appear in front of them. That's right. The great high priest would appear on the battlefield, giving a great blow to Nikita, who did not expect such overwhelming power, being sent to fly 100 kilometers. Daishenka would quickly take Beerus and Whis and would teleport to the Kingdom of Everything. At the moment of arriving, Daishenka would help them to heal and seriously would observe Whis.
Tell me everything, Whis.
Why do you have to look, Father? Do you know him?
Moro's aged servant. He was Nikita, the universe exterminator.
Daishenkin, with a very cold look, was waiting for Whis' answer, who was also very confused. At that moment, hundreds of thoughts were going through his mind.
Tell me something, Whis. I'm waiting for you. This is not a normal situation. We're in a maximum alert if one of Moro's servants has returned. It's because they want to revive Moro.
Father, I have some news, and you won't like it at all.
Have all of Moro's servants been resurrected?
No, Father. Moro himself has been resurrected, and I have no idea if he was resurrected the other servants.
Has Moro come back to life? This is not the only alert for the 12 universes, it's maximum alert for all existing beings. Why didn't you tell me before?
I'm sorry, Father.
I didn't think that this guy would cause such a threat in the 12 universes. Leave this place. In a few hours, I'll organize an emergency meeting with all the gods of destruction and their angels. Be alert.
We'll be watching, Father. Again, excuse us. Whis and Beerus would leave to their planet. While they were going to Universe 7, Whis began to inform him everything he had talked about with his father Daishenkin. Beerus would be in shock knowing that Moro was a being that even the greatest priest feared his power. Meanwhile, on the planet of Moro, Nikita would arrive.
If you've returned, it's because of this entire Universe 7 is in absolute chaos.
That's right, my lord. But I have something to inform you. I don't know if it'll be to your liking.
What has happened in your mission? You have enough power to defeat a god and an angel with ease.
The Beerus god of the universe and his angel were not problems at all. The only problem was the presence of the great Daishenkin priest.
Did you miserable bastard let yourself be observed by Daishenkin?
Moro would stretch out his hand, releasing a great pressure on Nikita's body, who felt that he was going to be torn by so much gravity falling on his body.
If I don't kill you now,
it's because you are more useful to me alive than dead.
But damn it! The beings of the kingdom of everything should not know of my return. Leave here.
Nikita would leave the place with some wounds all over her body.
Second Commander, come immediately.
A being would quickly appear in front of Moro.
Tell me, sir, what can I do for you?
I want you to watch over the whole kingdom. Use your special abilities so that they don't notice your presence, and give me more information as so you can tell about the whole place.
As you order, sir, with your permission.
The second commander would leave the planet of Moro, heading towards the kingdom of everything at an incredible speed. Meanwhile, Daishenkin would have already organized everything for the emergency meeting, and that he would inform. At that moment, Daishenkin would create a hologram in his head.
Destroyer gods and guardian angels. All of the universes are in maximum alert. We will have an emergency meeting in approximately 3 hours.
The message would reach all the staff of each guard, which began to go to all the Kingdom of All. After a few moments, all the gods were in the palace, all bowing down to Daishenkin and Zeno-sama.
For the reason that I have called you today, it's to inform you that one of the most powerful beings that existed in all the 12 universes has just come back.
Who is he?
Why doesn't the King of Everything erase him with his ability?
Many questions were heard in the conference room.
Answering the questions of the God Champ of Universe 6, the King of Everything cannot erase a power that surpasses his destructive power. Is this guy's power greater than Zeno-sama's? Just like Zeno-sama, that guy only has abilities, but his power is greater than Zeno-sama's. So Zeno-sama cannot erase a power greater than his, and his name is Moro the Annihilator.
All the gods began to tremble with fear. However, the god Beerus would take courage. Great Daishenkin-sama, if it is to inform you that the guy was defeated in the past, so it means that it's not impossible to defeat him. Who was able to defeat him?
You're right, God Beerus of Universe 7. Moro was defeated millions of years ago by the being of a Saiyan race. His name was Yamoshi. He was the first legendary god to exist. His power was so much that he was able to do what not even a king of all had achieved, to defeat Moro the Annihilator.
Beerus would be amazed and would say to himself, "Damn it, that's why Moro helped us lock Son Goku and Broly in the Void Dimension with the demonic seal. He was planning to finish this all off one way or another."
If it was a Saiyan that defeated that bastard, why don't we just tell Son Goku to help us with this great battle that's coming? I was investigating, and for bad luck, the Saiyan Son Goku, who had the blood of the first Saiyan god, was locked in another dimension, along with the Saiyan Broly, who had the legendary blood of the god Yamoshi.
But if the two Saiyans are our only hope, we must try to get them out of that dimension.
Unfortunately, they were sealed with a very powerful negative energy, which not even Zeno-sama himself was able to erase.
We are God Destroyers. We can defeat this threat, not by intimidation of that wretch. Beerus is right. We are not called Destroyer Gods because we are weak. We are beings of great power. Meanwhile, at the top of the Kingdom of Everything, the second commander had noticed everything that had happened.
Ha ha ha! Those miserable gods believe that they have enough power to face us. The generals of Moro-sama, if not even with us, they couldn't, much less with Moro-sama.
At that moment, Zeno-sama would get up from his throne.
The situation we're going through is a situation that endangers all the 12 universes, but we as our guardians must control it. Do you think that an alternative, great Zeno-sama? If Moro attacks us with negative energy, we'll be also able to counterattack with the negative energy. We will not be left behind. You are the king of everything. So, from now on, we will train. When you're ready, I will personally take care of activating your negative energy.
All the gods bowed and left the place.
So, you plan to fight us with your negative energy?
Huh, how interesting. Let's see how that strategy works for you. The second commander would retreat from Zeno-sama's planet. The moment the commander had left, Zeno-sama would approach Daishinken.
I know you didn't notice, Daishinken. That's why I used mental power. The top of us was one of the generals of Moro. But sir, how can you be so sure of that? Because I still recognize his energy. Although it was almost undetectable, millions of years ago I fought with him. And if I'm not mistaken, he's Genshi, second commander of the Abomination. Then, my lord, you really need to intend to release that being. That god had been sealed since the beginning of time. If he's unleashed, I don't think anyone or anything will be able to defeat him. First, we'll talk to him. Since the legendary Saiyan god Yamoshi has not been heard from for millions of years, his only option is to trust him. I understand, my lord. We will be prepared together with the 12 gods and the 12 angels. I trust you, Daishinken, but I want you to accompany personally tomorrow to talk to that being. As you ordered, Zeno-sama. I'll never leave him alone.
Returning to the dimension where Broly and Son Goku were, they had already spent the last year that they were going to stay in that place. Goku would concentrate on communicating with Zarma. Great God, Zarma! This year has passed and we've mastered our transformation completely! This is our base state.
That's very interesting. But did you manage to combine them with the divine key?
Of course we did! That's our ace up our sleeve, since the power we possess in that transformation even surpasses the power of a king altogether.
I understand. The last test I will give you is to fight with a version of me that possesses 50%. When you defeat it, you will be able to raise your key and leave this place.
That'll be interesting. At that moment, Zarma would appear in front of Goku and Broly. However, at that moment that Goku was about to say something, Broly would launch an attack. Broly would not hold anything back, managing to hit him with a rain of blows. The impact of the fist made multiple bursts and energy shoot all over the place, and after 20 minutes of battle, we can observe a wounded Zarma. While on the part of Broly, instead of decreasing, Broly's legendary power was increasing. Broly at that moment would create an Omega Blaster, throwing it without thinking twice. At that moment, Zarma would charge a great attack with all the ki that he had left over. The clash of both attacks were impressive. However, Broly's power every second was taking the advantage, until at one point Zarma would run out of energy reserves and Broly would increase his ki suddenly, turning Zarma's replica into dust. Broly, I wanted to fight too, you only kept the fun!
I gotta hear what you and the great god Zarma were talking about. So being a replica of his power, I could measure myself in a real fight without the need to hold back.
I don't think that's fair. But at that moment, Zarma would appear in front of both Saiyans.
I am amazed at the power you possess now. Even with my 50%, I'm capable of defeating Daishinken together with Zeno-sama. One question, Broly. Of course, great god Zarma. Tell me, the power you used at this moment is all your power? Or are you still hid much of your power? Of course, yes, great Zarma. Since this is a few words, it's my base state of Super Saiyan 4. At the moment of combining it with my divine ki, my legendary power also explodes like you have no idea, making it much more powerful the more the battle goes on.
Zarma would be a little surprised to learn that this was not all of Broly's power.
I have understood now. Yes, save all 12 universes, which I was once the ruler.
Goku and Broly would stand in front of the door of the time room, releasing a little of their power. The power was so much that they managed to open several dimensional cracks.
However, they did not know which one they belonged to. At the moment of entering one of the dimensional cracks, they both realized it was not their universe because their powers were extremely gigantic. Wow, apparently we got the wrong dimension rift. Now we have to go back and do it again. Goku and Broly expelled again a great part of their power to be able to create the dimensional rifts back into the time room. But at that moment, a guy would arrive. Who are you? And what are you doing in our universe? Goku would explain what had happened. That guy would understand. I understand. Don't worry. Take care of yourselves and get your universes back. Goku and Broly would return to the Dimension of Emptiness. Meanwhile, in the castle of Zeno-sama, Daishinkan together with the King of Everything were in front of a big door. At that moment of opening, it would roar, and come out of it, it seemed like a roar of a beast. Its power even made the King of Everything, Zeno-sama, together with Daishinkan tremble just by being in front of that being. So it is when Daishinkan and Zeno-sama opened the great door and a loud roar would come out of it. Sir, millions of years have passed, but I've never known what is in that place. The only thing that is known about this abominable power is what my father told me millions of years ago. The being that exists behind that door possesses a great power, so great that he could free himself if he wanted to. He came here by his will, since his words were as follows. When the being worthy of my power is born, I will awaken, and he will be my guardian and protector, a being that does not seek me for my power. On the contrary, he will see me as his life companion. So whatever is in this place has always been able to come out when it wants to. I find that amazing. You're right. So let's go in. Let's see what happens. The moment Daishinkan and Zeno-sama entered, the door would close. That's right, at that moment a gigantic purple Ozoru would be observed. So you are the son of the former King of Everything. Have respect for your father, and not harm you, but leave this instant. I have never bothered you because of the respect my father had for you. But now we really need your power. I beg you, please help us. Only you, the being who defeated the former King of Everything and had mercy to spare his life, is capable of putting an end to the approaching threat. The beast observed that the words of the subjects were sincere, decided to listen to them. Zeno-sama, together with Daishinkan, would tell him everything that happened. However, nothing seemed to impress such beast. The only thing you need is to become more powerful. Then you will be able to defeat them. Now get out of here! No matter how much we train, we're no match for Moro's servants, much less for Moro himself. He'll destroy everything that exists, and nothing, and no one will be able to stop him. The beast would give a loud roar. Let them leave, I said. I'll only leave this place when the Chosen One is born. Zeno-sama and Daishinkan would leave the room. Meanwhile, returning to the Room of Time, Goku and Broly had entered hundreds of wrong cracks until, at one moment to another, they tried to cross a crack and it would be complicated. At that moment, they both remembered the words of Zarma. At the moment you come out and you are not able to raise your power even more, because the seal will be responsible for this. And this seal is of negative energy, so it represents the divine energy. Goku and Broly increased their power even more, focusing it specifically on the seal. That's right, the impossible had happened. Goku and Broly were able to destroy the seal and were free. At that moment, all the beings of Universe 7 felt its power, including Beerus and Whis. Whis, is that Son Goku's power? This is impossible. Mr. Beerus, as impossible as it may seem, that is the key of Son Goku. Whis and Beerus would leave quickly to planet Earth, returning with Goku and Broly. At that moment, the Z-Warriors would appear in front of both Saiyans. How'd you manage to get out of that cursed dimension? This is impressive, but we have also become very strong. At that moment, Gohan and Vegeta would release their power to the maximum.
Gohan mastered 100% of his new transformation, while Vegeta would pass to Ultra Ego Phase 3, which gave off an incredible power. Meanwhile, in the room of the Beast, a strange feeling would pass through his body.
So, after millions of years, you have been born again, Master.
The Beast, after millions of years, would stand up, shaking the entire realm of everything with his incredible power. And that power, the chains that kept him bound, he would destroy them, and his power creating a gigantic explosion in the entire realm of everything.
What happened? What was that incredible explosion?
I don't know. But at that moment, the frightened Guardians would stand in front of Zeno-sama.
Great Zeno-sama! The room of the Beast has been completely destroyed! There's no one inside!
So the Chosen One's born. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, Goku is fighting with all the Z-Warriors, as Goku's power could take them all on at the same time. I thought you said you'd become more powerful, but they seem much weaker than last time.
Don't underestimate us, you damn worm. We already defeated you, and we could do it again.
Goku would increase his power level a little more and hit them with a few blows that would leave them badly wounded and lying on the ground. How is it possible that you have so much power? That's none of your business, damn disgrace! At that moment, Beerus would arrive along with Whis. At that moment that Beerus arrived, Broly would unleash a power of his own. That's right, Broly was concentrating all his anger and power on Beerus. Broly, without saying a single word, would launch himself against Beerus, sending him flying hundreds of meters. That moment, Beerus would recover from the blow, throwing himself at Broly in the same way. But this time, Broly was hit without receiving any damage. That's right, Broly's power was so much that the blows of a simple Destroyer God didn't even tickle him.
You'd better transform if you don't want me to end your life right now.
Beerus would begin to transform. Meanwhile, in the part of Universe 7 was Nukita. Since he was in charge of this entire universe at that moment, he was able to feel the power of Beerus. I'm in luck. If this time I finish with God Beerus, Moro-sama won't be so annoyed anymore. Nukita, with the power of his eye, would quickly change places. That's right, one of the techniques of his eye was to create portals or dimensions, achieving to arrive in a matter of seconds. Nukita would appear in front of Beerus, observing him on the verge of death and very badly wounded. Flashback 5 minutes earlier, Beerus had transformed, but this would not be of great help, since Broly would humiliate him without any effort, leaving him on the ground. Beerus, no matter how many times he was thrown to the ground, he would get up again and again.
I realize you're stubborn, but that will all be changed, because now I will finish you off.
Broly at that moment would grant him a shrapnel of blows, being able to leave him agonizing, and that he lost his transformation, Finn flashed back. At the moment, Nukita turned her head around, observing two powerful warriors, of which she could not feel their ki, but her murderous intention and their incredible pressure. I don't know who they are, but the Destroyer God must only die in my hands. Then Nukita, noticing Goku was already tapping her shoulder. You better not interfere in Broly's battle, because if you do, I'll have to end your life. Nukita would take distance quickly, since he was not able to notice the moment in which Goku had arrived next to him. Nukita would increase all his power to the maximum, giving a big hit to Goku, but Whis would be surprised to hear Nukita scream. Ah, my hand! How is it possible you have your body like this? Is it made of steel? That's right, Nukita, by concentrating a large part of his power in the blow he received at Goku, his hand would have broken upon impact of the Saiyan. I don't know who you are, but I can perceive a very strong negative energy inside you, so you leave me no choice but to finish you off. Goku began to walk towards this being with an incredible terror, would fly away from planet Earth. Getting as far away as he could from Universe 7, Goku would observe the sky, realizing the direction of the being. If I said I will annihilate you, I'll do it! Goku would put his hands together and begin to charge a powerful Kamehameha, throwing it at him. The incredible attack was rapidly approaching. I won't let that attack reach me! I can dodge it! But at that moment, Goku would appear in front of Nukita, and with a great blow, he would make him collide with his powerful attack. Nukita would be reduced to atoms. Meanwhile, with Moro, he was very thoughtful. when he received the information from the second commander, since the gods were planning to attack with negative energy in the same way.
I don't know why I worry. If the gods are not compatible with the energy, the only thing he will do will be to die in vain.
But at that precise moment, he would lose communication with one of his servants.
What happened? I've lost communication with the 8th Nukita servant. Second one, come closer, immediately.
The second commander would appear in front of Moro.
Tell me, sir, anything I could do for you? Any new mission? I want you to investigate who ended with the death of the 8th Commander Nukita.
The second commander, named Genshi, was a little intrigued to know that one of the commanders had fallen in battle. Genshi would leave the place, go into Universe 7 where the power of Nukita had disappeared. Returning to planet Earth, Whis was very surprised because the being that he was not able to defeat, Goku defeated him in a matter of seconds.
Mr. Goku, I know we had some misunderstandings, but please listen to us. So sorry, but both Mr. Beerus and I were manipulated by a being that even surpasses our powers. Whis, I have nothing to listen to you, but it really hurt me that you guys, who are considered as my family, would do this to me.
Broly at that moment would throw a great energy towards the unconscious body of Beerus, however Goku would stand in front of that great attack.
No, Broly, we're not the same as these traitors. We better leave this place.
Without anyone noticing, the second commander was in the atmosphere of the planet, observing everything, noticing that there were two warriors with the blood of the Saiyan god, and the other with the blood of the legendary Yamoshi. The second commander would return with Moro, informing him of everything that had happened. Moro would be very confused and scared.
This can't be happening. I was in charge of locking up those two guys with the king level seal. I don't know what happened, but both Saiyans had an incredible power, being able to only the first 5 generals to face them, but even so, we won't have an easy time. Thanks for the information. Keep me informed.
Returning to Universe 7, an overwhelming power was approaching. The moment that Goku and Broly were about to leave to another universe, all the Earth would tremble because of the being that had arrived to that place.
Whose power is this? He managed to feel a murderous essence, but at the same time, he managed to feel peace.
That power that is perceived is extremely incredible.
At that moment, in front of everyone, an Ozora would appear, which would surprise everyone.
What the hell is that supposed to be?
The Ozora would approach Son Goku, ducking his head.
You have finally awakened, Master. Or rather, you have finally been reborn.
Everyone was even more surprised to know that Son Goku was the master of that beast.
I know you must have thousands of questions, but with this, everything is clearer.
At that moment, the body of the incredible beast began to become energy. Thousands of energy spheres were entering the body of Son Goku. That's right, Goku's body was filling with so much energy that it seemed it would explode. However, at that moment, a loud roar, half beast, half human, would resonate through the universes, so much so that it would be heard by the beings of the Kingdom of Everything.
This power is awesome! Nothing, and no one will be able to face me! I am Kumaro, the Divine Saiyan!
Throughout the universe, you could see how large amounts of energy traveled and entered quickly into the body of Son Goku. That's right, Goku was absorbing all that overwhelming power, which would be felt by every being of the 12 universes, reaching a point that only felt an incredible pressure. The only beings that managed to feel the power of Son Goku was Moro with his generals. After a few minutes, Goku could be observed, whose appearance had changed, since the color of his fur would have turned to a purple color, as well as his eyes, and at that moment, Whis and Beerus, who had already recovered, would feel that bestial power being terrified.
Goku, how did you get all that power?
Goku wouldn't say anything as he seemed to be in a state of shock, while in his mind, Goku was in a huge universe. That's right, it seemed like he was in another galaxy.
What the hell is this? What are all these events I observe in my mind? Kenshi, my eternal guardian. I don't understand anything that's happening.
At that moment, in all the universes that Goku observed, he could see that a huge pentagram was forming.
What's that supposed to be? How can all this be happening inside me?
Meanwhile, outside of Goku's mind, Broly was on guard, watching over Son Goku's body, since in that state Goku couldn't do anything,
as he seemed to be in a dream.
Goku is unresponsive. At this point, we could finish off that annoying Saiyan.
Mr. Beerus, didn't you understand the lesson? We were just used by that damn Moor. Only Mr. Goku and Broly are able to help us.
Beerus, a little annoyed by what Whis said, approached Broly.
Saiyan Broly, I'm very sorry about a few months ago. Both Whis and I were being controlled. At this time, please allow us to help you. I would never allow that. You tried to kill us, and this can only be a trap.
Returning to the inside of Son Goku, at the moment when all the pentagram would be formed, an incredible Zoru would be observed. Goku would take a few steps back as he felt overwhelmed by the power he felt.
Master Kuramo, I know you must have been very confused by everything that's happening, but you and I have met in the past.
My name's Goku, not Kuramu.
Kuramo is your original name, but that doesn't matter. Can you remember me?
At that moment, Goku would observe himself next to an immense Zaru. That's right, Kuramo and Kenichi were the protectors of the 24 universes that existed in the past.
How is this possible?
I'll explain everything to you, but for now you must have just to adapt to this power, since the battle we just left unfinished millions of years ago is not over. At that moment, they both felt spheres of energy shaking their whole body.
Damn, it seems that we're under attack.
That's right, on the outside had arrived 11 remaining servants along with Moro. As the second commander was watching the atmosphere of the planet, he could realize everything that was happening. Informing Moro that it was the exact moment to attack, Moro, with his 11 servants, had surrounded all the warriors, especially Goku and Broly.
I don't know how they got out of that dimension. I placed the king level negative seal, but I don't care about that right now.
If it's just one, they won't be able to do anything to us.
So, you're the one mainly responsible for sealing us in that damn place. That's right. It wasn't complicated at all to manipulate the god of this universe.
Beerus would step forward.
Those Saiyans are the only ones capable of defeating you, so I won't let you exterminate them. Broly, I'm sorry for betraying you, but I'll take care of them. Escape from here. Don't say stupid things. These guys will kill you. I can handle all of them.
Broly would launch an attack. That's right, Broly had enough power to keep a fight with one of them. However, when he got attacked by two or more, he was brutally wounded. Broly would fall to the ground to get up furious, but at that moment, Beerus would get in front of Broly.
I never used this technique, but it's time to use it. I'm sorry.
At that moment, Beerus would touch Broly along with Son Goku, sending them flying across the universe at an impressive speed.
Damn it! First and second commander, follow them immediately.
Sir, we can't figure out how fast they're going, since they seem to be teleporting at every moment. In that instant, Beerus would raise his power to the maximum to try to dull the ki of both Saiyans. Beerus would transform, but something notorious was that this time he was releasing much more power than in previous battles.
You must not dirty your hands, Moro-sama. I'll take care of this guy.
At the moment that the 7th general finished saying those words, he would be pierced with a strong blow and reduced to atoms.
Today is a great day to die. And if I die, I'll take the most of you with me. I'll not go to hell alone.
Beerus would rush at his maximum speed against all of Moro's servants, being able to end the lives of two of them. However, at that moment, Beerus was attacked together, being seriously wounded. One of the servants would launch a large sphere of energy, but before it hit Beerus, Whis would face this great attack.
Mr. Beerus, I intend to fight by your side in this battle.
Whis at this moment would create an energy field so that both would not be so wounded, and at that moment both deities used the fusion.
What did you say we see who gets to go to hell faster?
Beerus went on the attack against all the other servants of Moro. Meanwhile, with Goku and Broly, both had arrived at a planet.
That god really gave his life for us. He's earned all my respect.
Go back inside Goku, Kenichi was showing him everything that they had experienced.
and feeling that they were no longer in danger, Kenichi could do it much more calmly.
So you're my guardian and my partner.
You're right, and now finally, after millions of years, we meet again. Goku at that moment was able to remember everything he had experienced with Kenichi. Absolutely everything, since his new memories had totally merged with his old memories.
Thank you, my friend. I always knew we could meet again.
At that moment, Goku would open his eyes and a big explosion would be created. Since Goku did not control his new powers, the explosion had been so big that it had been observed by the warriors who were fighting.
So, Son Goku has finally woken up. My work here is done. I hope someday you'll forgive me, Son Goku.
Beerus would continue to risk all his battle spirit, and his energy veins were about to explode. That's right, the power he was using was a power that went beyond all his limits. That moment, all the smoke from the explosion dissipated. Broly would approach Goku.
Goku, are you alright?
That's right, Broly. I just remembered all my past life, or in other words, my second root has totally merged with me.
Broly wouldn't understand anything, but when he realized everything that had happened, he would tell him everything that Beerus and Whis had done for them.
So, they were the only collateral damage of that damn Moor. I won't forgive him. Right now, we'll go finish them off.
Are you 100% Goku? Because the power of those guys is enormous.
You're the legendary Saiyan. Those guys scare you? I can't believe it. Broly, let's go and crush them all. Don't hold back.
Goku and Broly would teleport away. At that moment, all the servants were beating up Beerus.
You claim to be powerful, but you're not ashamed to attack one among many. You have no dignity as a warrior.
Don't say stupid things. You are no one to talk to us like that.
Goku at that moment would return to see the seventh servant, making it explode. That's right, Goku, with the power he had obtained, had so much power that he could make things kneel before him.
He really is the Super Saiyan God. He possesses the blood of the first Saiyan God.
Well, who's next?
All of the servitors would throw themselves against Goku, however, Broly would be able to give a blow to two of them. That's right, Broly could hold off even a battle against two of them, while Goku was able to take on the rest of them without any difficulty.
You didn't let me show you my true power before. Let's see what you think of this.
Broly began to increase his power. That's right, Broly's power had gone to a completely divine key. His fur would turn to a reddish color, and his power had increased dozens of times.
Now I'm ready.
Moro, who was watching everything that happened, was in panic.
I can't believe that those two Saiyans are so powerful that even more than their predecessors.
I won't let them put an end to my plans.
Moro would begin to raise to the sky. That's right, Moro was executing a curse technique. At that moment, the whole planet began to be warped in lightning.
Curse technique. Chains of rapture.
Multiple spears in the forms of chains would be shot at his servants, who would be pierced by such a bestial attack.
What is Zeno-sama supposed to do?
I'm sorry, my servants, but my life is much more important. So I'll take all your power and thus recover the overwhelming power I had before.
Goku and Broly were watching as Moro absorbed all of his teammates, not caring about them begging for their lives.
Stop talking, you damned insects. You're only here to do my will.
At that moment, Moro's body would light up. That's right, Moro had to transform. Moro had rejuvenated a few years, and his power also increased in an impressive manner.
I hope you're ready, because now you'll fight with me.
Goku would stand in front of Moro.
By finishing with your allies, you just did us a favor, because now you won't have anyone to stand in the way of your death.
Don't make me laugh, you damn Saiyan. Even though you have the blood of the first Saiyan God, you're not him.
He means your father's blood. He was one of the first to be my carrier.
I understand. Thanks for the information. Moro, you won't be able to fight me. You don't have enough power. You better get out of my sight and I'll spare your life.
Damn monkey, I'll crush you with my own hands.
I knew you'd say that, because if you left, I was going to kill you anyway. I can't let someone live who made my family betray me.
Goku and Moro would begin to exchange blows. The clash of their fists was so impressive that when they collided, they disintegrated planets. However, from one moment to another, Goku would give him a hammer blow, sending him to the bottom of the planet. Goku would continue with the attack without letting him breathe. Goku would humiliate Moro for approximately 30 minutes until he'd get tired.
I'm already satisfied and your pride is in pieces, Moro. I don't want to see your disgusting face again.
Goku and Broly would leave, however, Moro would throw an attack at them. Furious, Goku would return the attack with much more powerful ki slingshot, reducing him to atoms. What they did not know was that they were being watched by a much more powerful being. At the moment the explosion that had killed Moro dissipated, a subject was staring at them.
Master, an extremely powerful guy has us in his sights. I don't know his exact location, but his murderous aura is so strong that he can't eliminate it completely.
Thanks, Kenichi, but what the hell? Now, why is a guy like that looking for us?
I don't know, but powerful guys never go unnoticed.
At that moment, a being at a speed that neither Goku nor Broly were able to observe, a new warrior had put himself in front of him. That's right, his speed had been so fast that he had even cracked the space itself.
Master, back up this instant.
Goku, without asking, would retreat along with Broly being able to dodge a powerful attack, which before exploding a voice would be heard.
Eye of Death! Infinite emptiness!
A portal would be created in front of that great attack, sending him to another dimension.
I can see that you have great power. You were able to dodge my blow without any difficulty, and not enough with that. You managed to save your partner. Who the hell are you? And what are you looking for in us?
What I really am looking for is to exterminate you, since we can't allow the prodigious Saiyan to appear again.
We won't let you do that. It won't be easy for you to kill us.
They have a great fighting level, but if I compare them with me, they're still both simple insects. Broly, furious at what was being said, rushed to attack. However, the being in front of them with a small blow to his neck was able to leave him out of the combat. Goku would be surprised because even though he is more powerful than Broly, his power was not enough.
Kenichi, what can I do?
If we die in this place, we must take that guy with us. Don't hold back, Master. Your energy reserves are practically unlimited.
I understand, and I'm counting on you.
Goku would launch his power to the maximum, and in the same way, he would launch himself against that warrior. However, his blows would be dodged with supreme ease. Meanwhile, in the castle of the Uzaros god, there was a guy who did not possess any Saiyan trait.
We can't lose the last descendants of our lord. That damned Shiki is taking advantage of him. He is a king emperor. His power is overwhelming for them.
That guy in the blink of an eye would change his place.
But I want to observe how powerful is the descendant of the first Saiyan and legendary gods.
Iki at that moment was surprised to observe how Goku's body exploded with power. That's right, his body seemed to be radiating fire.
What the hell did he do? How could he increase all his power all of a sudden?
Master, if we want to make that guy feel a little pain, we have to bet everything.
What do you mean?
We'll have to use the Ikari.
Ikari?
That's right. The Ikari is a supreme power that in exchange for a momentary power, you'll run out of energy reserves for 24 hours. It's our only hope of victory. I'll be your shield so you'll be able to withstand all that power.
I understand, my friend. Base protection. Activation of Power Damn Ikari.
An overwhelming power would come out of Goku's body, being able to grant a strong blow to Shiki. Goku would begin to exchange blows with Shiki. That's right, his power with the activation of the Ikari had been so unexpected that it would catch Shiki off guard. Meanwhile, with Yoki, he was very surprised.
The cursed Ikari power are for beings that reach at least the medium range of omnipotence. A being that is multiversal would explode, or would not be able to activate the technique.
Goku would continue to give a beating to Shiki, which this time all his blows did critical damage. However, when Goku was about to give him the final blow, the power of Ikari had ended.
Malediction! We can't take it!
Goku would likewise direct the blow, being useless, his power had diminished rapidly, and Shiki would be able to hold his last blow. Now, damn you, I'll return each one of your blows that you gave me. I swear that you will beg me to end your life quickly.
The moment he began to torture Son Goku, a power even greater than Son Goku's could be felt throughout the environment. That's right, that was Yeki's power. Yeki, what are you supposed to be doing in this multiverse?
That's not important to you, but I can tell that even though through millions of years have passed, you are still the same.
It doesn't matter that we have the same master. You always showed kindness for the living beings, unlike me.
At this moment, I will take your word for it. I will not show kindness to you.
Divine Beast Palm! A dark-colored palm was directed to Sheki, who would try to dodge it, but it was in vain since its size was the power of planets. The slap would hit him completely, leaving him on the verge of death in a single movement.
I never wanted to end your life, Shiki, but you left me no choice.
I'm so sorry. Please, forgive me. I swear to leave and never come back.
You must understand that with me, those games don't work. Now go away!
Yeki, with just one hand, would make Shiki disappear from that entire universe.
Now I have no choice but to take them to the Zaru Castle, a place where only true Saiyan gods are able to enter. But with your feet, I'm sure they will receive them.
Yeki would quickly go to the castle, and at that moment of arrival, he would put them in some rooms so that they would be able to recover. After 3 hours approximately, Broly would wake up a little confused because he didn't recognize the place where they were. Meanwhile, in the mind of Son Goku, Kenichi was very thoughtful.
Apparently the Saiyan Castle still exists after millions of years. If this continues to happen like this, it means that the other bastards are still alive.
Broly, at the time of meeting Yeki, would get into a battle pose to think that he was a threat. At that moment, Yeki would begin to explain everything that happened to Broly, which would be very surprised to realize that the place where they were was full of beings of great powers.
Where's Kakarot? Is he okay?
That's right, you don't have to worry about him. He will recover quickly in this place.
After a few days, in which Kenichi would help his master to recover all his internal energy, Goku would wake up, finding himself very confused, not knowing where he was. However, when observing Broly, he would calm down a little more. Goku would approach Broly, asking for some explanations. However, before Broly begins to tell what happened, Yeki would appear, explaining everything in the same way as he did with Broly. Goku would be very surprised to know that there were omnipotent beings who broke the laws of power.
I'd like to be trained to become much more powerful.
Of course we will, since you will be great allies in the future.
Meanwhile, in a faraway place, there was a being with a strange appearance. That's right, this being didn't look like a living being since his whole face and body was just a big skeleton.
So Kenichi, the divine beast, has chosen again a carrier. This is bad. The final battle seems to be very close.
My lord, what is your order?
For the moment, none. Because if we face the faction of the Saiyans gods, we will not come out well, since their omnipotent power is similar to ours.
I understand, sir, but don't forget the problems that Beast gave us in the past. We can't allow that guy to dominate all that power.
Of course we won't, because before that, we will exterminate him.
My lord, with all due respect, why don't we send the horsemen of the apocalypse to finish with that damned Ozoru?
Excellent idea, Yima. The 4 horsemen of the underworld will take care of this. Even if I run out of treasures, it will be the best thing to do.
Returning to Castle Ozaru, Goku and Broly were training, being observed by Yeki. However, Broly's power, being the legendary Super Saiyan, his power increased in an overwhelming way. That's right, his power was so much that it even made all dimensions crack when they collided their fists.
Damn, Broly's power is incredible, but I won't be left behind.
Master, you were able to use the Akari at will, since I was the one who created the technique and my technique is perfect.
You have unlimited power, Broly, but let's see what you can do with this. Activation of Power Dynamic Car!
Last time, an incredible aura would come out of Son Goku's body as if it was fire. The moment Goku finished raising his power, some other Saiyans at the castle would go to observe such a battle.
That power is incomparable to a middle-class omnipotent being, able to face a high-class omnipotent.
The battle which was taking place was impressive, but this time Broly was the being who could not do anything. Despite being transformed into Super Saiyan Phase 4 Divine,
his power was not enough to cope with the power of Son Goku, which at any moment would leave him out of combat.
Excellent, Son Goku, but you shouldn't use the Ikari in that way, because it damages the soul and the energy veins.
You're wrong, because the Ikari doesn't do any damage to me. But at that moment, an incredible power was overflowing from Broly's body. That's right, his power was growing so much that it made all his power increase in an unrestrained way.
What is the reason for the increase in his power? This is incredible!
Broly would continue to increase all his power.
I don't think I'll lose. I'll show you the power beyond the legendary Saiyan.
All of Broly's hair, including his body fur, was turning a gray color. That's right, his power was so much that even in legendary Super Saiyan, he needed an energy-enhancing transformation. But what the hell is happening to Broly? How can he release all that power without exploding? Meanwhile, inside Broly's mind, a guy was communicating with Broly. That's right, it was Yamoshi Saiyan, the first legendary Saiyan whose power had already been so great that even though he was millions of light years away, he was able to communicate with his ancestor.
Broly, you must control that power, and you'll be able to reach the Super Saiyan Phase 5, or better known as the Saiyan Kills Gods, since that transformation not even the omnipotent gods want to face.
Broly would begin to control all his overwhelming power, being able to balance it in a single point. After a few moments, and a big explosion would be observed to a Broly which had finished its transformation.
Kakarot, I hope you're ready for the second round.
Broly, at a speed that even Yiki and Shallot was difficult to follow, would grant him a great blow which almost made him lose consciousness. Damn, his power has increased in an unbelievable way.
This is amazing. A being from that multiversal increases his power to a supreme omnipotent level. I can't believe it.
Broly would begin to massacre the Saiyan Goku, which was not able to do anything to defend himself. After a few minutes in which Goku was on the verge of death, Yeki would stand in front of Broly, stopping the last attack that would be able to eliminate Son Goku.
Broly, control yourself!
Kakarot is your partner! At that moment, Broly would fall out of combat in the same way.
Well, what an interesting Saiyan. He's the living reincarnation of the mighty Yamoshi.
The confrontation between the two Saiyans had resulted in a complete draw, as both were knocked out. Meanwhile, in a faraway place with the king named Yikami, he was sitting on his throne. Yinma, what has happened with the horsemen of the apocalypse? My lord, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are preparing to fight this battle. Understood. I think that with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse will be enough to exterminate those 2 Saiyans in the Ozaru Castle. Returning to the Saiyan Castle, Goku and Broly had awakened. However, Goku's body was in terrible condition since he had taken his body to the limit.
Master, your spiritual sea is still not completely healed, but little by little we're adopting to the power of the Ikari.
Thank you for being by my side, Kenichi. If I didn't have you, it'd be impossible for me to withstand all that beastly power of my own. In a moment, an incredible tremor would make the whole place rumble. That's right, Broly's body was unleashing a power that's so extremely impressive. Goku was very seriously observing Broly, however in his mind he'd hear the voice of Kenichi.
This is surprising. Apparently Kareth has chosen this Saiyan as his carrier.
Kareth?
That's right, Master. Kareth is a beast like me, and likewise is a beast of Ozaru origin, and its powers are capable of multiplying the power of the bearer by 1,000 times.
Goku would be very surprised by the words of Kenichi. At the precise moment, the entire universe began to be surrounded by spheres of energy, which this time were the color green, like Kareth, since the key of the legendary Saiyan was of this tonality.
Ah! Spiritual beast release! Legendary Kareth Ozaru!
An incredible beast would appear throughout the castle, leaving everyone surprised.
Long time no see in this world, but a being worthy of my power has appeared. Master Goku, let me out and talk with him.
Of course, Kenichi! Spiritual beast release! At that moment, a large beast would stand in front of Kareth.
Well, it seems that you, Kenichi, are also in this world. After such a long time, we meet again.
This will be very interesting. However, at that very moment, both beasts would launch an overwhelming attack where nothing could be observed.
Double Spiritual Beast Annihilator!
But what the hell did they just do? Did they want to destroy everything in their path?
I can't believe it! The power of those beasts surpasses ours with ease!
Don't let your guard down, because 4 beings of great power are in this place, and they want to wipe us all out. That's right. Their murderous intent is unbelievable.
At that moment, 4 subjects would appear in front of everyone, leaving Broly and Goku very surprised, since they would recognize one of them. However, the power that he gave off was unreal.
Second Mortal Commander, but how the hell are you still alive?
Before that wretched war ended my life, I was able to create an energy clone being able to escape.
But that doesn't explain how you now have that overwhelming power.
The only thing you should know is that all this power is essentially to finish you off. In that moment, everyone is able to observe the 4 warriors in total.
Who are you?
We are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and we have come for you cursed ones.
Are you the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse? This is surprising. It's said that they've never been seen by anyone before. I don't believe anything they say, because if that guy was a follower of Moro, he wouldn't be able to be a horseman.
I ended the life of the second rider, being able to take his place.
You ended the life of a rider? I can't believe this.
At that moment, the first horseman of the apocalypse would stand in front of everyone.
I will take care of the legendary Saiyan, since I can feel how he is the most powerful one of this place. I will take care of the Goku Saiyan. You 3rd and 4th horsemen, finish them all off. Leave no one alive. Not a single insect should breathe. As you order, sir.
At that moment, they all began the great battle, which was an advanced supreme level of omnipotence. All the Saiyans of the castle, despite having a high power, were not able to finish the 2 of them off, including Yelki and Shallot, who were the only ones who were able to do a little in front of them.
Damn it! If we don't do something, those bastards will take all our friends.
This is no time for games. I don't care if my body explodes.
No, Master. This time use me as a shield. This way you'll be able to do more to keep the Akari power for days, weeks, even months. My body is much more resistant to a beast.
Kenichi appears and forms from me an invincible body, B-Shield. Now, power activation, damn Akari!
Goku's power would explode in a few moments, leaving everyone shocked.
Master, you by possessing the body of the legendary Saiyan, you don't need to use me as a shield, but your energy reserves if you need an empowering transformation, I will be that transformation. Kareth appears and shapes me, a new state of God Saiyan, Broly man and beast in one.
Broly's body hasn't changed at all. The only thing to notice was his incredible power, which was making the whole universe shudder, or so they thought, since the power of both of them even reached Yakamai's castle.
I can't believe it! The power of those insects is amazing!
Sir, this is impressive. The power of those guys is from another dimension. I'm not able to feel the ki, only the pressure that reaches this place.
That's right, Yenma. The power is so much that it makes this whole place tremble. It seems that after all, it will be my turn to face them.
Returning to the battle, the power of both was impressive, only their battles were even, since the other riders were destroying the entire castle of the Uzorus, although their level of omnipotence was not low, only that the power of their enemies overwhelmed them.
Kakarot, go and annihilate those 2 remaining horses. I'll take care of these 2.
Are you sure you could do it?
That's right, I know I'm capable of stopping them for about 5 minutes, so don't take longer than that. I won't let you.
But at that moment, Broly's power increased in an abnormal way, creating a big explosion which would leave them without vision for a few seconds. At that moment, Goku would move at a flashing speed, being able to hit both horsemen. Goku would not give them any time, and at that moment, he would use more power than his body could support.
Master, don't overdo it. Remember that I'm a beast, but even if it's your shield, your body will take some damage.
Don't worry, Kenichi, but I can't let them die. They helped us when we were on the verge of death, so I'll give my life for them.
Goku, without giving them time, began to slaughter both riders. At that moment, Goku, with a powerful blow, would throw one of the riders to 1,000 of kilometers, and at that precise moment, Goku would finish with the life of the rider who was alone. At the moment of returning the rider, which Goku had sent to fly, this one would be enraged.
Damn! How dare you end my brother's life!
Oh, he was just a simple worm. He was not able to withstand a blow with 75% of all my power. Now you'll face me. I'll The third horseman of the apocalypse was not able to finish his sentence, since at that moment Goku had pierced him with a great blow. Goku at that moment, at a surprising speed, would return to where Broly was, observing how the second horseman was holding him. The first and the most powerful of them was directing the last blow that would end the life of the same. Goku at that moment would arrive, putting himself in front of that great blow, managing to stop it dry.
Insect, you took longer than 5 minutes.
Don't complain, I saved you. Goku would teleport and hit the second rider in the same way. You're my opponent, so I hope you're ready. The second horseman would communicate telepathically with the first horseman.
The power of these guys has grown in an abnormal way. I don't think I'll be able to defeat him, and apparently you don't have enough power either. That's right, but we are the horses of the apocalypse. We have never left our victims alive. If we stay in this battle, we'll die. We don't have enough power to face them.
Goku and Broly at that moment would launch into the attack, taking them both out of their thoughts. However, far away from that place, a guy would feel their power. Four warriors of gigantic power facing each other. Poor them, they don't know what they'll be my food. That guy with the appearance of a child would begin to move through all the multiverses at an impressive speed, returning with the battle of the four warriors. Goku and Broly at every moment were cornering both riders, which were very badly wounded. Your time has come, and your second commander, this is the end of you! Die!
You should have never messed with us. Now visit hell!
Goku and Broly would launch a combined attack, which, if it touched them just a little, was able to reduce them to atoms, since their power was so great that no one could stop it. However, everyone was surprised to see how their attacks had disappeared. What the hell? How are they able to disintegrate our attack? From all that smoke curtain, a voice would resound. I'll not allow you to finish with my food. They, as well as you, will be part of me.
Don't say stupid things, you're just a simple child.
If you think I'm a child, why don't you attack me? Broly wanted to attack, however, his body refused to get close to this being.
I don't understand the level of his power, but Master, don't attack him since his aura forms the aura of a Shinigami.
Damn it! My body doesn't respond. Goku would create a small sphere of energy, cutting his leg a little bit. That's interesting, you managed to overcome fear with pain.
Thank you for saving us, but now you're going to die, you bastard!
The second horseman of the apocalypse would throw an energy sphere in his face.
Now, if we can continue with the battle.
I don't judge you. I didn't come to save you. I came to absorb all your power. Both riders were surprised and terrified when they realized that the guy had not received any damage. It's time. Goku and Broly, with all their power, launched themselves to prevent that guy from absorbing the horsemen. That's right, they knew that if he absorbed them, it would be the end of them all. We'll not allow you to absorb them, damn it! But at that moment, the guy named Neki, with a great attack, was able to send both Saiyans to fly full of wounds.
Master, the only thing we could do is defuse the Ikari with the Kaioken.
I'll do whatever it takes.
Master, what we could do is combine our legendary power. We'll do it, Kareth!
Both began to increase their powers, making all the multiverses tremble because of the power they were releasing. After so many millions of years, now I'll have a real battle. Goku and Broly in that instant had increased their powers in an incredible way, making all the multiverses tremble. The power of both had broken the limits of their own bodies. That's right, it had been so much that even King Yikami had been amazed. This must be a damn joke. The power of those Saiyans even surpasses the power of their predecessors. Returning to the battlefield, both Saiyans were at the limit of their bodies. That's right, even their veins seemed to explode with so much energy they were giving off. At that moment, Nike would quickly try to absorb both riders. However, to everyone's surprise, Broly would throw an eraser canyon, disintegrating both warriors.
I'd rather end the lives of those scum than have them become part of you and annihilate us.
Damn monkey! I swear I'll make you suffer, and before you die, I'll take all your power. He's not alone. If you want to end his life, you'll have to end both of them. No matter how many worms stand in front of me, I swear I'll annihilate them one by one, and I'll keep all their powers.
At that precise moment, the three warriors launched an attack. With the first clash of their fists, some planets began to be destroyed.
Nike, shell it! With the survivors, leave this planet!
But how will they be able to defeat that monster? We'll help them.
Leave. You will only hinder us.
All the Saiyans began to leave to different universes, since the closest planets were being destroyed by all the power that the three warriors were releasing. Meanwhile, with Yikami, this being had decided to enter the infernal dimension. This dimension was one that kept captive the ancient gods of destruction or beings of great powers. Yikami had thought of increasing his power to an omnipotent god level to be able to end the lives of both subjects, and so he would do it. A large door would be placed in front of him, and Yikami would enter this place. At the moment of entering, it seemed like the Crimson Purgatory, since even the air was too heavy to breathe. He felt like he was dying.
If I don't endure this, those bastards will finish me, and I can't allow this, so I'll give all my effort in this training.
Yikami began to train in that place, or better said, he began to cultivate his spiritual seed to be filled with energy and be able to reach the rank of omnipotent god. Returning to the battle, we could see how Goku and Broly are the most worn out by the excess of energy. However, Nike had not come out of that brutal battle so well, since he had even lost an arm. But thanks to his regeneration, he was able to recover it. However, the drained ki had been a barbarity.
I can't believe it, that I, the chief of the horsemen of the apocalypse, the first horseman of all existence, is being cornered by the insects. I was the one who killed their previous birds.
Goku would be very surprised by Nike's words.
So, you wiped out our ancestors. In that case, for all the Saiyans you exterminated, for every race you wiped out, we will wipe you out! They have incredible power, but they don't have enough power to face me at 100% of my power.
We're beating you! If you don't use 100% of all your power, it's because the price to pay is so high that you'll die.
Damn, this bastard's smart. He's right. If I use 100% of all my power, my body will no longer support it and explode. That's why I wanted the powers of these four guys, but I won't let them make fun of me. I'll finish them even if I die with them.
Nike at that moment began to increase all his bestial power, creating even dimensional cracks, which left Goku and Broly surprised. From a strong explosion, you could see Nike, which had not changed anything physically, only his bestial power had increased to supernatural levels.
Now I hope you're ready for this second round.
Nike, at that precise moment, was able to give some strong blows to Goku and Broly, throwing them some mountains, destroying them instantly. Nike would continue with his attack, however, Goku and Broly would not stay behind, starting to fight with Nike. The three warriors were suffering damage throughout his body, not being accustomed to such powers.
I'm not interested in their powers anymore. I just want to exterminate them.
A giant energy sphere was approaching towards Goku and Broly, who would not be left behind.
Double Ankylo of Man and Beast in one! Cannon of Ozaru!
Both attacks would come out colliding to each other with each other. The distortions they generated were so many that many more planets began to be destroyed by the collision of their attacks. After about 3 minutes of attacks would explode, and at that time Broly rolled Nike with all his brute force.
Kakarot, create your dragon attack!
No, Broly! If I do that, you'll die too!
I won't do it, trust me. I'm the legendary Saiyan. Even my body is stronger than yours, so just do it!
I'm sorry, Broly.
Goku would begin to raise his power to the maximum in his current transformation. He would even increase his Kaioken to 50 times.
Master, don't exceed your body. This power is too much even for a prodigy like you.
A little more. A little more. Resist a little more, body.
Goku would continue increasing his power while Nike felt such a bestial power, he would do everything to free himself. However, Broly's explosive force was so strong that he was not able to let go, but Broly was not having a good time since all his bones were breaking because of the power that Nike was releasing.
Kakarot, absurate! No Credo Pondero can support so much!
Listen! Receive this! A killing punch from the god Dragon Celestial!
An immense dragon would come out of Goku's fist. That's right, the great dragon would pierce both subjects. At that moment, Broly would let go and fall to the ground untransformed and on the verge of death. Goku would quickly go to his aid, but at that moment he would hear the voice of the beast of Broly.
Don't be an imbecile. Finish that damn guy right now. I'll take care of his body. Don't let Broly-sama's pain be in vain.
I understand. I'll leave everything in your hands. Goku would quickly go to that guy who was in a terrible condition, but he was regenerating little by little. I won't let you do it! Damn you! Machine gun! Goku began to throw fists at a high speed that looked like a machine gun, hence its name, but Goku was also feeling the side effects of the power beyond his limits. That's right, Goku's power was slowly decreasing. I can't let that wretch recover. I'll finish him off this very instant. My body supports my last whim. No,
Master, don't do it!
Goku, without caring about the words of his beast spirit, he'd increase his power of his Kaioken to 60 times. The power at that moment had exploded. I never thought that I'd be exterminated by one of the descendants of those damned ones. I no longer have enough power to stop his blow. Die damned! The last blow of Goku had not even left ashes of Nike. Goku at that moment would fall to the ground. That's right, Goku had also returned to his base state. Meanwhile, far away from that place, Shallot and Yiki realized that the battle had ended. Both would leave in search of the Saiyans, being surprised by the disaster they had caused. It seemed that another multiverse of greater power had attacked them, and that it had only been the battle of three beings. But their powers were incredible. Shallot would find Broly in terrible condition. Shallot would quickly give him some of his energy and would take him to a nearby planet so that experts would be healing him to save him, while Yeki, after a few minutes, would be able to save him. Minutes would also be able to take Find of Son Goku out of combat. Yeki would take him and take him to a much safer place.
You're beings that won't mind giving your lives for the people you love. If you continue like this, you'll be great cultivators.
3 months had already passed since such a terrifying battle, in which Goku and Broly had already recovered completely, returning to their training since they knew that beings of great powers were all over that multiverse. Meanwhile, returning to the Infernal Dimension, in that place approximately 300 years had passed, in which Yakami's training had been in complete hell, but in such a way that it had been a hell he had also achieved his goal. That is, he was able to reach the desired rank, the rank of Omnipotent God. Now, if nobody's able to face me, I'll be able to exterminate all the insects that are put in front of me. I hope you're prepared for what's approaching. Meanwhile, outside that dimension, Ymar, the right hand of the king, was very worried, since his king had not left in that said time. Ymar would begin to meditate to increase his power a little and go in search of his king. Returning to the planet of the Saiyans, everyone had returned to normal, and with the Super Dragon Balls had brought to life all the other Saiyans fallen in battle. However, they felt something wasn't right, since their own beasts felt an impressive feeling of death.
Master Broly, it'd be better to train in the planet of the beasts to have better results in their training. I don't know what you mean by the planet of the beasts, but if we will have better results, we'll do it.
Kenichi, Goku's beast, had also informed him what both beasts were thinking. Both Saiyans would go to the center of the universe. That's right, since the world of the beasts was a place that no ordinary being was able to enter, only beasts or beings which were recognized by other beasts of such great power were able to enter. Why would he have gone to train elsewhere? Their power is so great that no one in these multiverses would be able to face them. I don't, Shallot, but I don't like something. I feel that something's about to begin. The beginning of the end is near. Shallot would remain a little thoughtful because of Yeki's words, since he had never been wrong in his premonitions or presentiments. Meanwhile, in a very distant place, the door to the underworld of the ancient gods had opened. That's right, the training of the powerful Yamaki had finished. Being a complete success, even he had reduced his power to the minimum so that nobody was able to feel all his power. At that moment, Ynmar would appear in front of his king. My lord, long time no see. I was very worried about you.
Don't worry, Ynmar. I feel better than ever, and it's time to finish with everyone.
At that moment, Yakami felt confident to finish with any being that is put in front of him. What he did not have in mind was that even both Saiyans were about to enter a world equal or worse than his infernal room. Returning to the center of the universe, the powerful Kenichi would appear in the entire universe and would be charging with energy. And at that moment, he would give a loud roar, creating a portal, which would take them directly to the world of the beasts.
Master Broly, are you ready?
Of course I am, Kareth. Master Goku, are you ready? Of course I am! Let's do it once and for all!
Both warriors would enter the world of the beast to continue with the training beyond an omnipotent being. Goku and Broly would enter the world of the beasts. That's right, which looked like the underworld itself since everything was lightning and the place seemed to be in lava.
Where are we?
It's the world of high-level beasts. Beasts that surpass the power of an ordinary cultivator. So, this is the place to train. This will be very interesting.
Goku and Broly were about to start their training, but at that very moment, a dragon would attack them without warning.
Don't think that you could train so easily, because the environment of this place is only to forge powerful warriors, so its inhabitants are beings of great powers.
Goku and Broly began to launch energy spheres all over the place where they passed. In a matter of seconds, the whole place was full of explosions, which were surprised to realize that the dragon had not suffered any damage. Goku at that moment would charge one of his best hits, which would even be able to end the life of a king altogether. However, his power was not enough, as the dragon had not been moved even a millimeter.
What the hell's going on in this place?
Master, it's not the place. It's the cultivation level that surpassed you by dozens of times, so you won't be able to do anything. The best thing for now is for you to hide in a safe place and with all this beast energy cultivate, since being our carriers, you are human beasts. I understand, Kareth. Now we'll do it.
Broly would at that moment create a large sphere of energy, which we would throw to the ground, and at that time of doing so, it would create a great curtain of smoke, being able to take refuge in a much safer place. Both warriors began with their great training, which consisted first of all the accumulation of ki in all their spiritual seed. Meanwhile, in Yakami's castle, everything was ready for the war that was approaching. Yakami wanted to finish with everyone once and for all, but his confidence didn't make him think clearly, since he knew that they were only 2 against 1.
Yinma, come quickly. I need you to lend me your power for 48 hours.
Of course, my lord. I'll do everything you ask me to do.
Thank you, Yinma, but in the same way, I was looking for great beings all over the universes, and I was able to find a cold demon named Frieza.
That's right, my lord. That cold demon has an incredible power. With his Black Frieza transformation, he's capable of overcoming a king at all.
That is very interesting. Together with that cold demon, I want to fight this battle. Go and bring him immediately.
As you command, my lord. Yinmar would go at a great speed to Universe 7. From the multiverse of Zeno-sama, after a few moments, Yinmar would stand in front of the Emperor Frieza. Demon of the cold Frieza, in the best way, I ask you to come with me.
Who are you, you damned worm? Where do you want to take me?
My king has requested your presence.
I don't care who your king is. I'll send you to him right now.
Frieza, in his golden transformation, would launch an attack. However, Yinmar would dodge each of his blows, leaving Frieza in ridicule.
You have great power, but let's see if you can face my maximum power.
Frieza would begin to increase his power in an incredible way. Getting access to his new state called Black Frieza. Without wasting time, Frieza would launch himself against Yinmar, which, unlike before, if it was more difficult for him to stop all of Frieza's blows. I must not waste time with you. If my king has requested your presence, I'll take you even if it is out of combat. Yinmar would take the battle a little more seriously, beginning a massacre of Frieza, who, despite being much more powerful than a king at all, was no match for that guy. Yinmar would leave Frieza out of combat with a furtive blow. That moment, he would take Frieza and return to where his king was. When he arrived, Yakami would stand in front of Frieza.
Demon of the cold, wake up!
At that moment, Frieza had woken up. Without spending much more than 3 seconds, Frieza would begin to tremble, when feeling an unequaled sensation of death. That's right, the sensation that King Yakami emanated was extremely powerful, since the sensation that Yinmar was given off, Frieza would think, who the hell is this guy? His power breaks all laws! You must be wondering what has happened. Well, I need your power to take down some Saiyans of great power.
Do you think you can fight by my side?
Frieza, knowing that the guy in front of him was a being from the top of the cultivation, he treated him with much more respect.
Of course, it would be a pleasure for me to be able to help him finish those damn Ozarus.
And you would like this much more. The main target is this Saiyan by the name of Son Goku.
Frieza would give a small smile.
That damn Ozaru, I want to finish him off with my own hands.
I knew it would make a great team, but you need to reach the highest level of omnipotence.
Yakami would create a portal, and with one great blow, he would send Frieza into that place. That's right, Yakami had sent Frieza to the underworld dimension. My lord, don't you think it's too much for that being?
If he survives, it means that he's worthy of fighting by my side. Otherwise, he would only be in my way.
I understand, my lord.
I'll give him 1 year to be able to master all that power.
Frieza, at the moment of falling in that place, he'd feel an even greater pressure would fall on his whole body. That moment, he was able to hear Yakami's voice in his mind.
In that place, you'll train for a year. Of course, you must be careful of beings of great power.
At that moment, the communication would be cut off. Frieza was furious, knowing that in his training there was great possibility that he'd lose his life. So Frieza's training would begin, which, due to the energy wear, began to reduce the power he spent in his black transformation. After approximately 5 months, Frieza's power had grown in an incredible way, being able to even now defeat a king in his last form.
The power I've achieved is amazing, but in 6 more months, I must be able to surpass my limits.
Frieza would continue training in that place. Meanwhile, with both Saiyans in the same way, 6 months had already passed approximately, in which both had obtained excellent results. They had not obtained any new transformations since both had already achieved maximum level in their transformations. Now these same ones served as enhancers.
Mr. Broly, I don't doubt your powers, but in case of emergency, you should learn the fusion. So, you think so? If that's your opinion, I respect it and will do it, since you're much wiser than I am.
At that moment, Broly would approach Goku, but to both surprise, the dragon of 6 months ago had found them, launching a great fire attack which Broly, with a barrier, would be able to counter it.
Our power's not the same as 6 months ago. Right now, we could finish you, and you won't be able to do anything.
Broly at that moment would create a tiny sphere of energy, but this had combined with destructive energy, the dragon would launch an attack. But the small sphere would destroy all of the attack and the barriers that had formed. The tiny sphere would pierce the dragon, which would fall lifeless.
I can't believe all the power I have now. Ha! It's awesome!
Goku and Broly would continue training since they knew that nothing good was happening. After another 6 months, the Saiyans were only 2 months away from finishing their training. Meanwhile, with Frieza, a portal would be created in Yakami's castle, where Frieza could be seen leaving the place with some wounds.
Well, well, if you manage to get out of that place, that means you have become extremely powerful.
That's right. Now I'm ready to finish with all those annoyances once and for all.
Now let's rest for a month and then we'll get started hunting all those damn bastards.
It's okay. I need to rest a little bit too.
Meanwhile, returning to the Saiyans basket, Yankee as well as Shallot had not remained with their arms crossed, since both had increased their powers in an amazing way. Not compared to Goku and Broly, but they had increased them to be able to defeat the Horsemen of the Apocalypse without any problem.
In spite of the power I have now, I don't feel that nothing's going well. On the contrary, I feel that everything will end very soon.
You're not the only one, Shallot, because I can feel the same.
Going back to where Goku and Broly were, both were already in the final stage of their training. At that moment, the final beast of the training would get in front of both of them. That's right, it was a big tiger, which both of them had to defeat individually to be able to get out of that place. The first one to try would be Goku, who was only able to last approximately 5 minutes in the battlefield, since the power of that beast was a superhuman power. At the moment that Broly would enter, the battle would be a little more even, as Broly possessed infinite amounts of energy. However, it would not make much difference because in the same way, Broly would be defeated. So they spent approximately 2 more months in which Frieza and Yakami were already destroying the entire universe in its path, but still did not take the Saiyan castle. After approximately 3 months, Goku and Broly were able to defeat the beast.
As you've been able to defeat me now, I myself will show you where the exit is. I hope you never change the essence of your hearts, because despite being a royal race, our hearts are now so noble. Few beings exist like that in this universe.
A great portal would be created. Both would leave this dimension, being surprised to observe how the universes were in absolute chaos. Both Saiyans would quickly go to the Saiyan castle, observing everything that was in perfect condition. After a while, Goku would meet Yaiki, who began to explain everything that had happened.
A cold demon? I think it's Frieza. The power it possesses is too low for these beings.
However, a voice would come out of all his thoughts. That's right, it's the voice of the evil Emperor Frieza.
Long time no see, damn Saiyans. Now the day has come for you to die. I hope you're ready.
Yaiki, get out of here!
Frieza at that moment would quickly charge a ball of total destruction with the intention that no being of low level remains alive. But Goku at that moment would be in front of that great attack, receiving it with a powerful Kamehameha, being able to send both attacks to fly out of these universes.
I don't know how the hell you came back to life, but now I swear I'll send you back to the flower field you hate so much.
Damn, that was the worst humiliation of my life.
Frieza and Goku would exchange blows at high speeds, destroying everything around them. At that moment, King Yakami would stand in front of Broly.
I hope you're ready, because I will unleash my forbidden seal. My power explodes like you have no idea.
A pentagram would form in that place, and later a great explosion would resonate all over that place, and the final battle has just started. A great explosion could be observed in the distance, even from where everyone was. That's right, the forbidden power of Yakami was abominable. So much was his power that even made all the dimensions were cracked by the power he was giving off. After a great curtain of smoke, Yakami could be observed, which apparently had not changed at all, but in a few milliseconds, he was able to give a great blow to the Saiyan Broly, who, despite being with his guard up, was not able to do anything to dodge such a blow.
Master, not only did his power increase, but also his speed, in surpassing ours. I've already noticed that, but don't worry, now we'll show him why we're called legends.
Broly at that moment would increase in an incredible way, his battle level making even his muscles grow a little more. Yakami would be very surprised because with those muscles, he would think that Broly would be much slower. But great was his surprise when he saw Broly had even increased his speed. Yakami was able to dodge a blow from Broly by a few millimeters, however he had been able to scratch his face a little.
From what I could tell, I shouldn't underestimate them, since if I do, I'll die. I think it's excellent that you don't underestimate us, since I won't waste any chance I have to end your miserable life.
The exchange of Yakami and Broly had begun. With the clash of their fists, even made all the other dimensions crack. The power of their fists was so much that left everyone surprised. However, at that moment, everyone was a little surprised. That's right, Frieza had released all his power, going back to his Black Frieza state. Some lightning fell all over the place, and even the rocks rose. It was a symbol of the power that Frieza had reached. Meanwhile, in a very distant place, other Saiyans were very far away in that place.
Damn it! We're in another multiverse, and even in this place the pressures of their keys reach. The battle definitely happened to us today. You're right, Yuki. Only Goku and Broly are capable of taking down those bastards, because if they fall, the whole universe will fall with them.
Returning to the battlefield, Frieza had finished his transformation.
Now I'm ready for you damn monkeys. I hope you're ready, because in this form I can't hold back. I'm capable of sending you to the other world with one blow.
Goku was about to say something, however Frieza would begin his overwhelming power on him with blows, not even letting him breathe.
Master! Try to fight back. He's hurting us.
It's very easy to say it. He's massacring me, and the power of his blows increase in an incredible way. I can't use the beast shield since it doesn't allow me to react.
Frieza would continue hitting Goku without stopping. He wanted to finish with the Saiyan that always humiliated him. However, at that moment, Broly was able to throw a sphere of energy to Frieza, sending him to crash into a planet. However, Broly at that moment had received a powerful blow that was almost able to leave him out of combat. You better not get distracted, because if you do, I'll also take advantage of any carelessness to kill you.
Damn it! The blow he gave me hurt me too much. Kakarot, release all your power once and for all. Don't believe I can help you again.
Goku would begin to increase his power on a scale. His power made everything around him tremble. Frieza, knowing that this would be a great threat, would rush to attack. However, the silhouette of a beast would make him retreat, as it would release a screaming sound which made him retreat, as if it were a blow of air.
Damn it! I should have finished with that damn monkey as soon as possible. The power it is releasing is from another dimension. I can't believe it.
Goku would continue to increase his power so much that he increased his power that you could see him glow a little bit.
Forbidden power release! Ikari activation! Beast Shield and Man in one activation. Kaioken increased 100 times activation! Biter resists all this power! Kenichi, are you ready?
Of course. Yes, Master. Let's do it. Spiritual Sea Acceleration. Beast Blood.
The power that Son Goku had released had been so much that even the planet they were on could be seen to be engulfed in flames and lava, and even some of the rocks rose up to the planet's atmosphere.
Sorry for the delay, but now I'll also fight seriously, and I'll show you the true power of a Saiyan God. I hope you're ready, Frieza.
Goku would throw himself at a speed against the evil Emperor. However, Goku had raised his power on par with Frieza. So Frieza, to be a prodigy, was able to achieve all that power in such a short period of time. However, Goku wasn't far behind. The clash of both made the whole world of the Saiyans shudder, which was just being left in simple rubble. That's right, the power of both subjects were released so much that it was impossible to see who would be the winner. From one moment to another, Goku would be able to give a powerful blow to Frieza, which would make him retreat. Meanwhile, with the Battle of Broly and Yakami, both seemed to be very equal. For any being who is able to observe this battle would think that they were on par, but Broly, being an expert in battles, knew that his blows managed to hit him, but he didn't have as much effect as the blows that Yakami gave him. That is, Broly little by little was being overcome. From one moment to the next, Yakami would send Broly to fly hundreds of meters across the universe, and at that moment, Goku and Yakami would stare at each other. At that moment, everyone had changed opponents. That's right, Goku would begin to exchange blows with Yakami, while Broly would do it with Frieza. The battle at that moment would give an unexpected turn. Goku had overcome the power of Broly, while Broly with his brute strength was gradually finishing with Frieza, which at every moment looked much more tired than at the beginning and had not unlimited energy, as the legendary Super Saiyan was being cornered every second that the battle was going on. At that moment, a big explosion was able to be seen in all the corners of the universes. That's right, Broly had embraced Frieza with all his power. He would create an explosion with all his body. Broly had resulted with a few wounds throughout his body, however Frieza would be very badly injured and on the verge of death. Mikami, realizing this, would know that even with his great power, facing the two at once would be a practically lost battle.
I'm sorry, Frieza, but if you're not able to kill that Saiyan, you'll only become a part of me. Please, give me another chance. I swear I'll beat him.
You don't have enough power to back up your words.
Broly! And Frieza's life now! A bastard will absorb him!
Broly at that moment would create an energy cannon, however Yakami would stand in front of that great attack, taking unbelievable damage.
I'm sure that the power that this vermin will give me would be incredible. That's why I'm taking such a risk.
Yakami would touch Frieza's back, making that moment a pentagram would form as it happened with Yakami. The only difference was that this time the pentagram was a red color, similar to blood. That's right, the technique that Yakami was using was a cursed technique which required a sacrifice, which was to take 25% of the life of the being that uses it. Yakami, not being sure of winning this battle, would activate the technique. The power that Yakami had obtained had been so much that even made all the multiverses rumble, and different multiverses and planets were disintegrated only with the pressure of his aura. Damn it! That miserable had achieved a power that we can only hardly reach!
Master, let's not give up. We've always succeeded. Kakarot! We're the Saiyan race. We know no limits.
Goku and Broly began to head towards Yakami at an impressive speed. However, Yakami, with the power he had obtained, observed everything in slow motion. That's right, his power was so much that even his sight would have a better perception. Yakami would dodge each one of their blows and would grant them a blow to each one of them, leaving them on the ground very badly wounded. I'll repay you for the humiliation you put me through. Now I'll finish you. And you, Son Goku, I'll leave you last to watch how I finish each one of your loved ones. Yakami would begin to torture Broly until he was on the verge of death. Broly and his beast had been completely defeated. Broly had returned to his base state with no sign of energy felt. That's right, Broly had remained between life and death. Goku, observing this, would begin to get so angry that even his beast would be surprised. This can't be happening. Even though he's my carrier, he must not have that beast ability. Beast man power released! Demonic power activation! Goku seemed to be aware that he was what he was saying. However, Goku had lost control of reasoning, feeling how the key of his great friend Broly had disappeared. Goku at that moment observed all the moments in which there were in the Room of Time and were trained by Zarma. That's right, Goku had achieved the same transformation as when Kenichi joined him. Goku had been in transition. He was in his Ozaru state, but he had not finished it. That's right, Goku in this state had launched an attack which Yakami would dodge, but each hit became much more aggressive and faster. I'll kill you, I swear I'll kill you! Goku, while attacking, only repeated those phrases, which was the meaning of his anger. Goku, from one moment to another, was able to give a strong blow to Yakami, which would make him fly all over the universe. But as his attack would not end there, Goku would begin to massacre Yakami at a speed hard to believe. While Goku attacked Yakami, Kenichi inside was very worried. Damn it, this can't be happening. If he keeps raising his power like that, then the one who will be harmed will be him. Even if he kills Yakami, he'll share the same destiny. The battle would continue for a few more seconds. That's right, Yakami didn't let himself be hit every time. At one point, he was able to connect a strong blow to Goku's cheek, but great would be his surprise just to hear a loud roar. Goku, at that moment, with much more power and speed, began to give him the beating of his life. At that moment, Yakami regretted wanting to kill all the Saiyans, as he appeared being much more powerful than even his predecessors. I'm not going to die here! This is my last attack! Yakami began to charge a great energy attack. The power was accumulating was so much that the whole dimension would be distorted. Goku, without caring about what his rival was doing, would go to this one. Stupid, you'll receive my attack from the front! Die! Goku was able to go through the attack, and a big dragon would form in his whole fist, being able to reduce the powerful Yakami to ashes. At that moment, Goku would fall unconscious because a guy had knocked him out before he explodes. After a few hours, the whole universe was restored, and the whole universe, a sentence, was formed. You are worthy to call yourselves the legendary Saiyan gods. You should not think me anything. Attention, the subject of shadows. The confrontation between Gohan in his Super Saiyan Phase 3 form and Takagami marked a drastic change in the intensity of the battle. The skies, previously serene, witness of the confrontation, darkened with the energy unleashed by both combatants. And each blow resounded like thunder in the vast and silent cosmic space, defying the tranquility of the stars watching from a distance. The explosions of energy briefly illuminated the darkness, creating a chaotic and majestic spectacle at the same time. The flashes of light and shadow intertwined in a frantic dance that reflected the ferocity of the combat. The shockwaves spread out in the distance, distorting space itself and recalling the magnitude of the power unleashed on that battlefield. Each movement was a ballet of strength and dexterity, with Gohan and Takagami challenging each other in a battle that transcended the physical, entering the realms of the mystical and the epic. Their cries of determination were lost amid the din of battle, but their spirits echoed in every exchange of blows, making it clear that this confrontation was not just for dominance or survival, but for the legacy of their lineages and the protection of their worlds. Gohan, his eyes shining with an indomitable determination, channeled all his power in every movement, leaving a trail of energy that shimmered with a force that defied the limits of the unimaginable. His taut muscles, His golden aura, glowing with intensity, made him an unstoppable force that sought justice and protection for all those he loved and defended.
You will not escape my justice, Takagami! My determination's like an unbreakable torrent that'll sweep away any darkness you try to sow. Every blow I throw carries with it the strength of all those I protect and defend. I'll not rest until the truth shines on every shadow you've woven with your deceptions. Get ready to face the justice I bring.
Gohan roared with fiery fury, his voice echoing across the battlefield like an echo of the very protective will drive him. Every blow he threw carried with it the emotional burden of years of struggle and sacrifice, the determination of a hero willing to do anything for the well-being of his world and his loved ones. On the other hand, Takagami, with his characteristic agility and calculated cunning, dodged Gohan's attacks with fluid and precise movements. His cold and calculating gaze contrasted with the ferocity of the Saiyan, unveiling an enemy who did not underestimate the threat he faced.
Interesting. I see that the power of the Saiyan pride still burns deep in your being, Gohan, but let me tell you this. However intense it may be, will not be enough to defy the chains of your inevitable fate.
Between each exchange of blows and dodges, the battlefield turned into an epic scenario where two titans collided, not only with their bodies, but with their convictions and purposes. The fate of both was intertwined in a deadly dance where determination, skill, and strength merged in a conflict that transcended the physical and went deep into their warriors' souls. The clash of energies was so intense that the Z warriors felt the pressure and overwhelming weight of the unfolding confrontation. The magnitude of the conflict resonated in every corner of the known universe, like an echo of power that transcended planetary barriers and penetrated the very heart of those who were fighting for survival and justice. The fluctuations in ki were palpable, even to those watching from a distance, like a symphony of opposing forces colliding in a chaotic but harmonious dance. Every member of the Z Warriors could feel the electricity in the air, the tension that preceded every strategic move and every heartbreaking blow. The earth trembled under the influence of the unleashed energy, as if the world itself was responding to the duel of titans being waged on its surface. The skies darkened even more, as if the universe itself was holding its breath at the magnificence and terror of that epic contest. In those moments of crisis, the Z Warriors' determination grew even stronger, fueled by the urgency to protect what they loved and to face any adversity with courage and conviction. It was a reminder that during chaos and destruction, the human spirit could shine with an unshakable light. Piccolo, with his strategic mind sharper as a razor, watched every move with meticulous attention. Every gesture, every spark of unleashed energy carried with it the promise of a decisive change during the battle. His intense and serene gaze concealed a precise calculation as he searched for the perfect opportunity to intervene in support of his disciple. Piccolo, with his gaze lost on the horizon as he pondered the situation deeply, added in a calm but determined voice,
Gohan is channeling an incredible power right now. If we manage to amplify their energy and coordinate a joint attack, we could tip the scales in our favor and find the opportunity we need to change the course of this battle.
His mind worked like a meticulous clock, evaluating possibilities and strategies during the chaos that was unleashed in front of him. Meanwhile, at the epicenter of the conflict, Gohan and Takagami continued their titanic duel, each determined to impose their will and determination on the other. Gohan's transformation into Super Saiyan Stage 3 not only gave him enormous strength, but also imposed a demanding tribute in terms of energy and physical endurance. Gohan, his breathing agitated by the effort and intensity of the moment, expressed with determination in his voice between short breaths,
His power! It's overwhelming! But I must stand firm. I can't fail!
Every word resonated with an unwavering commitment as he prepared to face the ordeal ahead of her, his aura glowing with a mixture of exhaustion and relentless resolve. His spirit stood like a burning flame during the storm, braving adversities with a determination that sprang from the core of his being. On the other hand, Takagami, with his arrogant smile and calculated movements, responded to every attack of Gohan with an inordinate confidence in his own dexterity and power. Takagami, with a voice imbued with superiority and a tone that denoted his absolute confidence in his words, defiantly replied, "Admiral, but naive. Your determination's remarkable, Gohan, but you must understand that no force in this universe can change your destiny." His voice resonated with an assurance that seemed to defy all opposition, marking a gap between confidence in his power and Gohan's will. His self-assurance was impenetrable as the toughest steel, a psychological barrier that defied even the storms of energy roaring around him. The confrontation was coming to a head as the Z Warriors, with a mixture of worry and palpable hope in their hearts, prepared to intervene at the precise moment that could change the course of the battle. Vegeta, with his intense and analytical gaze, watched every flash of power unleashed by Gohan with a mixture of admiration and concern in his eyes. Vegeta, with his analytical and sharp mind, was muttering to himself in a barely audible tone due to the palpable tension in the air. "Gohan's unleashing an incredible power." His words were a whisper, charged with respect and concern, acknowledging the magnitude of the power that Gohan was unleashing at that critical moment. "But he must maintain control if he wants to survive this," he added with a seriousness that reflected his experience in past battles and his understanding of the dangers of losing control over so much unleashed energy. Goku, the legendary warrior who knows the limits and beyond, nodded solemnly at Vegeta's words. Goku, with a calmness that radiated experience and wisdom, recognized with respect in his voice, "We know what it's like to fight at the limit, but Gohan's showing exceptional courage that inspires us all." His words resonated with the depth of one who has faced countless challenges, understanding the nature of struggle and the sacrifice it entails. With admiration palpable in his tone, recognizing the courage and determination of his son during adversity, his voice, serene but full of respect, reflected the confidence in Gohan's potential to overcome any obstacle. Meanwhile, the energy flowing through Gohan was reaching its peak, manifesting itself in an impressive visual spectacle. Its golden aura radiated an intense light that illuminated the surrounding space, making even the distant stars seem to pale in comparison. Gohan, with a roar full of determination that echoed throughout the battlefield, exclaimed with fervor, addressed to his father and Vegeta, "Father! Vegeta! All of you! This power is to protect you all!" His voice carried with an emotional charge of his commitment to the protection of his loved ones, a promise that manifested itself in every flash of his glowing aura, and in every blow aimed at the darkness that threatened his world. His voice, echoing like an echo of hope amid the chaos of battle, his energy, instead of just being destructive, became a beacon of hope for his allies, instilling strength and determination in their hearts. The buildup of energy finally reached its peak when Gohan unleashed a combined attack so powerful that it seemed to tear the very fabric of space. The surprise on Takagami's face was palpable, reflecting the magnitude of the force unleashed by the young Saiyan. "Impossible! I can't believe the magnitude of your strength, Gohan! You've unweakened a power that defies all my expectations and strategies so far. But you haven't witnessed everything I can do yet. My abilities are not limited to what you've witnessed so far. And I still have cards to play in this game. Get ready to find out that I'm not as easy an opponent to defeat. The true essence of my power is about to be revealed, and I assure you that it'll surprise you. The battle's only just begun, young Saiyan." The resulting explosion temporarily blinded everyone present, enveloping the battlefield in a dazzling light that eclipsed even the brightest stars in the firmament. As the luminescence slowly faded away, it revealed an impressive but also disturbing scene. Gohan, still in his Super Saiyan Stage 3 form, was still standing, his figure slender but visibly exhausted at the limit of his strength. Was that enough?" He was panting between short breaths, his eyes reflecting a determination that defied the fatigue that overwhelmed him. But Takagami emerged from the rubble with a defiant smile on his face, was making it clear that the battle was far from over. "You're barely scratching the surface, Gohan. Your power is awesome, but you can't beat the darkness that is hanging over you. Your determination's commendable,
but the real battle is beyond what you can imagine. My shadows are deeper, and my power is vaster than you think. Get ready to face the true essence of the dark power.
Gohan's energy was fluctuating, a clear sign that his transformation was reaching its limit. The Z warriors watched with anxiety and determination as the battle reached a critical point. Victory seemed elusive, but their fighting spirit remained unwavering in the darkness that threatened to devour them all.
No! I can't give up! This power! It's to protect everyone! To my family! To the earth!
Each word came out between agitated breaths, but charged with an unwavering determination, revealing the deep sense of responsibility and love that drove their struggle. His voice, though weakened by the effort, resounded with a firmness that defined the adversities he faced.
Oh, what a pathetic nobility! Do you think you can fight my darkness with simple desires for protection? Your strength is impressive, but your naivety condemns you. Don't you understand that in this world, nobility and desires for protection are as fragile as glass in front of the tide? No matter how much power you possess, the darkness will always find a crack through which to infiltrate and corrupt everything you value. It's only a matter of time before you realize the futility of your efforts, Gohan.
Gohan, his aura flickering, braced himself for another assault, feeling every fiber of his being burning with determination. However, the accumulated fatigue and the marked wounds on his skin were beginning to take their toll, weighing like chains on his struggle. Every move was a battle against exhaustion and pain, a test of endurance that tested his courage and perseverance. The vision of Takagami, his implacable enemy, distorted slightly before his fatigued eyes, reflecting not only the tumult of the physical battle, but also the dark and twisted connection Takagami maintained with the source of power that fed him. This connection, like a cursed bond, gave Takagami a ruthless strength, but also dragged him into the maelstrom of corruption and out of control. During the fray, Gohan found himself facing not only a formidable opponent, but also the shadow of an evil influence that threatened to consume everything. Every blow thrown and blocked resonated with the intensity of an epic battle between light and darkness, between the determination of a hero and the seduction of a dark and forbidden power. Despite the adversities and uncertainty that surrounded him, Gohan clung to hope like the beacon in a storm, remembering the bonds of friendship and love that drove him to move forward. Every beat of his heart resonated with the will to protect what he valued most in the world, facing the challenge with courage and sacrifice, knowing that true strength lay in his indomitable spirit and in his determination to never give up in the face of the darkness that threatened his world and soul.
Gohan, don't wear yourself out too much. Stay focused and in control. Remember, that true strength lies not only in raw power, but in the ability to stay calm and think strategically amid chaos. Do not underestimate your opponent, and do not get carried away by blind rage. That determination must be backed by intelligence and control. Make every hit count, and don't get distracted from your goal.
His words, full of advice and warnings, sought to remind Gohan of the importance of the mind in battle, in addition to physical strength.
The Super Saiyan Phase 3 form consumes a lot of energy. Gohan needs to find a balance between his power and his stamina. He must learn to control the flow of his ki to maintain his strength without exhausting himself quickly. The key is efficiency. Every movement must be precisely calculated and executed to maximize the impact without wasting energy. It's a challenge to master this state, but if Gohan manages to find that harmony, his potential will be truly formidable.
His words, full of experience and knowledge, sought to guide Gohan towards a better understanding of how to use his power without compromising his endurance in battle. As Gohan and Takagami continued their confrontation, Goku's eyes, a symbol of hope for everyone, shone with determination during the intense strife. His strategic mind was working at full speed, analyzing every move of his son and enemies to find the perfect crack in Takagami's defense. Every glimmer in his gaze reflects years of training, epic battles, and an unwavering desire to protect those he loved. In the distance, Vegeta stood in a fighting position, his Saiyan pride burning like an unstoppable flame. His defiant aura and combat experience combined into a formidable force, ready to unleash his power at the precise moment. Piccolo, with his calculated serenity, was watching the battle with sharp eyes, ready to strategically intervene and balance the scales in favor of his comrades. Meanwhile, Goten and Trunks, the young warriors, were in the middle of the recovery process after the intense confrontation against Takagami. Despite their damage received, his determination did not waver. Both focused on channeling their ki with precision, taking advantage of every breath to restore their energies and strengthen their bodies. Goten, with his indomitable spirit and his face marked with determination, closed his eyes with concentration as he felt the flow of vital energy revitalize his fatigued muscles. "We have to be ready to return to the battle at any moment," he thought to himself, remembering the responsibility he shared with his friend Trunks to protect his family and his home. On the other hand, Trunks, with his mind focused and his ki shining with renewed intensity, was striving to reach an optimal state of recovery. "We can't afford to let our guard down," he reflected, aware of the challenges they still faced and the need to be prepared to face any adversity that stood in their way. Both young warriors knew that the battle was not over yet. With determination in their hearts and their ki channeling with precision, they were preparing for the next chapter in their fight for the protection of their world. "Gohan's giving his best. His strength and determination are impressive, but we need to find an opening to channel more energy towards him and empower his power to the fullest. We must all join forces and find a way to support him in this crucial battle. Our connection as a family and as a team is our greatest strength. Let's make every hit and every effort count to protect our home and those we love." His words, full of determination and hope, reflected his confidence in the team's ability to overcome any challenge when working together.
Your resistance is admirable, but useless. My power is absolute. No matter how much they fight, they won't be able to stop me. My strength is unshakable, and my determination relentless. There is no escape from my dominion. It's time for you to give up and accept your fate under my control.
Every word was loaded with arrogance and certainty as Takagami continued to unleash his dark power with ruthless ferocity. Gohan, with a superhuman effort, managed to deflect Takagami's attacks and counterattacked with a burst of brilliant energy. The collision of powers created a shockwave that shook the nearby atmosphere. "I will not allow you to destroy what I love! My bonds and my strength are greater than any darkness you could throw! I'm ready to face any challenge and overcome any obstacle to ensure a secure future for everyone! There will be no place for destruction in my world!"
Your emotions make you weak, Gohan. The real strength lies in the darkness. Your love and your bonds are chains that prevent you from reaching your true potential. Don't you see that the darkness offers unlimited and unrestricted power? Abandon your illusions of grandeur, young Saiyan. Face the truth that only darkness can bring you true strength and absolute dominion over the world.
Every word was imbued with an icy arrogance and a fanatical belief in the corrupting power of darkness. Takagami sought to sow doubts and weakness in Gohan's mind, challenging his conception of strength and courage. The struggle became more intense with each pressing moment. Gohan, despite showing obvious exhaustion with every short breath, remained firm and undetermined, refusing to back down from the challenge Takagami posed. His eyes reflected an unwavering determination as he faced the malevolent machinations of his enemy. However, Takagami's evil cunning was revealed in all its magnitude when he began to manipulate the environment around him with dark mastery. The dark creatures had summoned with his sinister magic were already at the edge of the surface, ready to emerge and join the battle with uncontrollable ferocity. The air was charged with an ominous presence as the shadows of those creatures danced unexpectedly, eager to join the conflict and show their destructive power. Faced with imminent threat, the Z warriors did not hesitate to prepare to face these creatures that represented an unknown but tangible danger. Vegeta, with his characteristic defiant tone, exclaimed as he adjusted his combat posture, "I'll not allow those abominations to ruin our path to victory. It's time to show them the true power of a Saiyan." Piccolo, the group's calm strategist, quickly assessed the situation and proposed a plan of action.
We're facing a cunning enemy who uses manipulation as a weapon. We must act with coordination and precision. Gohan, you now take care of containing the creatures. Vegeta, Goku, keep the pressure on Takagami and don't let him breathe easy.
Goku, with a determined smile on his face, nodded energetically.
We have it, Piccolo. I'm confident that together we can overcome any challenge that comes our way. We're going to give our best.
Goten and Trunks, the young warriors, who were always looking to prove their bravery, exchanged a look of complacency before joining the plan.
Yes, let's show these monsters what it means to be a real team.
Determination shone in the eyes of each Z warrior as they prepared for the upcoming showdown, their hearts resonating with the memory of Ten Shinhan and Chaos's courageous sacrifice. Those moments of heroism and camaraderie resonated like an echo in their souls, reminding them of the price they sometimes had to pay to protect the world they loved. Goku, with a silent bow to his fallen friends, took a moment to remember his valuable lessons of courage and determination.
Our friend showed us that even in the darkest moments, we can find the strength to face any challenge. His sacrifice will not be in vain as long as we keep fighting and keep the flame of hope alive in our hearts. Every blow we take, every obstacle we face is proof of our determination and our commitment to a better future. We'll not let his sacrifice be forgotten. Let's keep fighting with all our heart and spirit.
Vegeta, with an intense gaze fixed on the horizon, added solemnly,
Every battle teaches us something new. We must honor his memory by overcoming our limits, protecting this world, not only for ourselves, but for those who are no longer there.
Piccolo, the serene strategist, reflected on the importance of learning from each experience.
Every battle, every loss, strengthens us and teaches us to be better warriors. Let's move forward with determination and wisdom.
Goten and Trunks, the young warriors, full of energy and competitive spirit, exchanged a look of respect towards the heroes of the past.
We're going to make their bravery and sacrifice worthwhile. We'll fight with everything we have.
The memory of Ten Shinhan and Chaos became a flame that fanned the determination and fighting spirit of the Z warriors. With their hearts united in a common purpose, they prepared to face the next challenge with the strength of those who came before them, ready to write the next chapter in the history of defending the Earth against the forces of evil. The battle reached unprecedented levels of intensity, with every move unleashing a wave of energy that shook the battlefield. Gohan, with his indomitable spirit, led the charge against the emerging shadows, channeling his ki into powerful explosions that dispelled the creatures one after another. Every flash of light harbored the determination to protect their loved ones and their home from the darkness that threatened to consume them.
Mr. Piccolo, behind you! Watch your back! The enemy's trying to surprise us with sneak attacks! We can't afford to let our guard down for 1 second in this battle! Our togetherness is our greatest strength, and together we'll overcome any challenge that comes our way! I trust in your strategic wisdom, Mr. Piccolo, but I'm also here to support you in every move! Let's move forward with determination and protect what we value with all our might!
Piccolo responded quickly, deflecting the attack with an energy shield.
Thank you, Gohan. Your quick alertness and attention to detail are crucial in this battle. Our coordination and communication are what will keep us one step ahead in the face of our enemies. Let's keep working together. Every move counts in this matchup.
By his side, Piccolo displayed his tactical ingenuity with mastery, drawing lines of defense and counterattack with pinpoint accuracy. His strategies were like chess moves on the battlefield, anticipating the enemy's moves and coordinating attacks to maximize the impact. Between them, an almost perfect synchronicity is woven, where Gohan's brute force found balance at Piccolo's strategic cunning.
Vegeta, get ready for our combined attack! We can't hold any back anymore! It's time to deploy all our power and show them what we're capable of! Together, we're unstoppable, Vegeta! Let's prove once again why we're the most powerful Z warriors in the universe! Let's go!
You don't need to tell me, Kakaroto. I'm always ready for the combat. Our combined power will overcome any obstacle that stands in our way. Get ready to witness the true strength of the Saiyan race. Let's go!
Every clash of powers, every rumble of explosions resounded like a chant of resistance, bravery during chaos. The bounds of camaraderie and trust between the Z warriors were strengthened by adversity, reminding them that together they were more than the sum of their individual abilities. In this ballet of strength and strategy, where each movement had the weight of survival and the hope of a future in which light would prevail over shadows. Vegeta and Goku, in their eternal friendly rivalry forged in countless battles, coordinated their attacks with an almost telepathic synchronization. Like two warriors who share a unique and deep bond, their fiery determination was reflected in every move, every punch, and every burst of energy they threw at their formidable opponent, Takagami.
Goku, it's time to unite our powers to take down this guy once and for all. We'll not allow it to continue sowing chaos and destruction. Our combined strength will be their undoing. Take this, Takagami! This is the end that awaits you for challenging the Z Warriors.
I'm with you, Vegeta. There's no turning back now. Together, we'll put an end to this threat once and for all. Let's get him!
The latter, a formidable adversary in his own right, was forced to quickly divert his attention between dodging the quick and precise strikes of the Saiyans and dealing with the strategic cunning of Gohan and the tactical prowess of Piccolo.
Don't underestimate my powers, Saiyans. My abilities go beyond what you can imagine. Your determination's admirable, but it won't be enough to stop me. Get ready to know the true darkness that resides in this universe.
The frantic dance of attacks and defenses between the protagonists became a ballet of opposing forces, where speed and power merged into an unparalleled combat choreography. Each shock of energy unleashed explosions of ki that lit up the sky like shooting stars on a stormy night, painting the firmament with flashes of power and determination. The battlefield was transformed into an epic scenario where the fates of the combatants were intertwined in a cosmic drama of legendary proportions.
Gohan, now's your time to shine. Use this opportunity to show your true power and determination. We're all counting on you to turn the tide of this battle. Don't hold back. Give your best and make every hit count. The fate of everyone depends on your courage and strength in this crucial moment.
Come on, Dad! Mr. Piccolo! We won't stop until we beat you! Our determination's stronger than ever, and together, we're unstoppable! This is our moment to show that together, we can overcome any obstacle! Let's trust in our bonds, and fight with everything we have!
Meanwhile, Gohan's relentless determination and Piccolo's tactical wisdom added layers of complexity to the conflict, consistently challenging Takagami's strategies and moves. The intensity of the confrontation reached its peak, and with each hero and villain deploying their maximum potential in search of victory. Amid the chaos of battle, friendship and honor and inner strength shone as beacons of hope in a universe fraught with unfathomable challenges and dangers. Goten and Trunks, following the meticulous plan laid out by Piccolo to the latter, demonstrated a perfect synchronization that bordered on the supernatural. As young Saiyan warriors, their connection was more than a simple strategic alliance. It was the manifestation of a deep and lasting friendship, forged in countless shared trainings and battles. Every movement, every gesture, flowed between them in an innate harmony that only the strongest bonds could sustain.
Goten, your task is to maintain the defensive perimeter. Don't let anything surprise us from behind. Trunks, look for any opportunity to counterattack. We need to take advantage of every gap in their defense to turn the tide in this battle.
Understood, Mr. Piccolo. I'll be attentive and make sure that nothing takes us by surprise.
Following Piccolo's instructions, Goten unleashed bursts of energy with the dexterity and speed typical of the Saiyan lineage.
Come on, Trunks, let's keep the pressure on. Let's not give up and take every opportunity to move forward.
His attacks were precise and forceful, outlining a defensive perimeter around the group with an intensity that left his opponents breathless. Meanwhile, Trunks, a skilled wielder of the energy sword, executed precise and elegant cuts that perfectly complemented Goten's strategic defense.
Don't let any of them through, Goten. Keep our front safe while we look for weaknesses in their formation. Let's keep pushing.
Each movement drew lines of glowing energy in the air, creating a dynamic and effective wall of protection that neutralized any threat that dared to get too close to their companions. The combination of Goten and Trunks' skills not only demonstrated their individual mastery, but also their ability to work in a team in a fluid and coordinated way. Their actions were not only the result of practice and training, but also of a deep mutual understanding that allowed them to anticipate each other's movements with pinpoint accuracy. On the battlefield, the symbiosis was their greatest strength, making them an unstoppable force that courageously and determinedly defended those considered their family and home. The battle that was being fought was a whirlwind of energy and strategy, where every move had a deep meaning, and every decision impacted on the future of the contest. Goten and Trunks, the young Saiyan warriors, showed amazing coordination as they threw themselves into combat with a mixture of bravery and dexterity. His movements were like a martial dance, fluid and precise, designed to unbalance the dark creatures summoned by Takagami.
Trunks, to your right! Understood.
The voices of the young people echoed among the booms of explosions and the clash of powers. Each exchange of blows was a symphony of ki, a manifestation of the determination not to give ground in the face of the darkness that threatened to engulf them. Meanwhile, Gohan, with his indomitable spirit, deployed his ki in explosions of controlled energy, creating glowing spheres that exploded with force on impact against the shadows that rushed over them.
We can't give up! Our world depends on this! Every strike, every strategy, everything counts in this crucial battle! Let's keep fighting until the end!
His voice resonated with conviction, injecting courage into his companions. Piccolo, the calm but ruthless strategist, extended his arms with authority, generating defensive barriers that protected the group from surprise attacks. His eyes observed the battlefield with a calculated calm, evaluating every movement of the enemy to find the precise moment to counterattack.
Keep the pressure constant. We cannot allow them to make up ground. Every breakthrough we make is crucial to maintaining our advantage. Keep attacking relentlessly.
The sound of energy crashes and explosions was deafening, but during the chaos, the group's determination and unity shone like beacons of hope in the darkest night. Each of the Z warriors knew that they were not only fighting for their lives, but for the future of their home and the generations to come. Every attack, every block was another step towards victory or defeat, and they were not willing to give in to adversity. Amid the furious fray, every strategic move and every technique deployed by the Z Warriors reflected years of training and experience, as well as a bond of trust and camaraderie that strengthened them in the most difficult moments. The coordination between them was a show of synchronization and dexterity, a chaotic but harmonious dance of attacks and defenses that kept at bay the dark forces that tried to dominate them. However, it was at a crucial moment, when hope seemed to be faltering in the face of Takagami's relentless persistence, that Goku and Vegeta, the legendary Saiyans whose power transcended known limits, demonstrated once again why they were revered as the most powerful warriors in the universe. With millimetric synchronization that only they could achieve after years of training in epic battles, they unleashed a devastating combined attack that shattered Takagami's defenses, leaving them exposed and vulnerable in the face of the final counterattack of the brave defenders of the Earth. The impact of their combined energy resounded on the battlefield like divine thunder, shaking reality itself with its overwhelming power. The energy blasts and shockwaves spread out like a gale, sweeping away any obstacles in their way and marking a decisive turn in the confrontation. The hearts of the Z Warriors swelled with renewed hope as they witnessed the result of the bravery and determination embodied in Goku and Vegeta, who were not only allies, but also rivals, who raised each other to new heights of power and dexterity. This epic moment not only symbolized the brute strength of the legendary Saiyans, but also the depth of their connection as battle companions and friends. Her self-sacrifice and dedication to protecting her home and loved ones shone with an intensity that defied the shadows of despair. With Takagami vulnerable before them, Earth's heroes prepared for the final assault, determined to put an end to the dark threat looming over their world and restore the lost peace. As this crucial opportunity approached, Gohan and Piccolo, two warriors whose togetherness goes beyond simple camaraderie, combined their powers with synchronization and understanding that only the closest battle partners could achieve. With relentless determination and a strategic focus sharp as the edge of a sword, they faced the creatures summoned by Takagami, with a bravery that inspired everyone present on the battlefield.
Mr. Piccolo, keep the rear guard. I'm going to the front. It is crucial to maintain our formation and protect our backs as we move forward towards the main battle. I trust you to keep us safe from behind.
Understood, Gohan. Don't let your guard down. Our coordination is key for being victorious. Stay alert and move forward with determination. Together we'll overcome this challenge.
Gohan's energy, bright and powerful as the sun as it peaks, was intertwined with Piccolo's tactical cunning and dexterity, creating a symphony of power and skill that defied expectations. Each coordinated movement between them was a masterful combined dance, where offensive and defense intertwined in a lethal harmony. The creatures summoned by Takagami, who once posed a formidable threat, now found themselves at a disadvantage in the face of the unbreakable union of these two exceptional warriors. The battlefield lit up with flashes of brilliant energy as Gohan and Piccolo unleashed their full potential, overcoming every obstacle with steely determination and calculated strategies. The trust between them was palpable, a connection that transcended words and manifested itself in every punch and every block. With each enemy defeated, their path to Takagami cleared, bringing them closer and closer to the final victory they sought to protect their world and their loved ones.
Gohan, you need to buy time. I will prepare my best attack to defeat these creatures. I trust you can keep them busy while I get ready. Together, we can change the course of this battle.
Mr. Piccolo, I'll do my best to buy time. My goal is to keep these creatures at bay as long as possible so I can prepare their attack. Trust me, I won't let you down.
The moment of truth was approaching, and Gohan was advancing with a firm step, while Piccolo prepared his best attack to defeat these creatures summoned by Bahamut's disciple and put an end to the darkness that had threatened his home. His fiery determination was a beacon of hope for those who witnessed his courageous struggle, reminding them that strength lies in the unity and indomitable spirit of those who fight for justice and peace. The critical moment came when every move decided the fate of the battle. Gohan, in a last effort, took his final form. With his bright and determined aura, advanced to the front of the battle line, facing the dark creatures with a mixture of bravery and strategy, as he blocked the onslaughts of the shadows with his dazzling ki. The creatures summoned by Takagami were not easy rivals to beat, but Gohan in his ultimate form took a lot of confidence and began to face the creatures they are facing. Gohan knew that keeping the creatures at bay was crucial to allowing Piccolo to unleash his full power. While Gohan struggled to contain the shadows with his fast movements and powerful attacks, Piccolo concentrated his energy preparing for the most powerful technique. The tension on the battlefield was palpable, but there was no room for doubt. Confidence in their abilities and in their partner was the key to facing the darkness that threatened to consume them.
Gohan, keep it up. You're demonstrating exceptional courage and impressive mastery on the battlefield. Every movement of yours is a barrier that prevents the advancement of these creatures. It's crucial that you hold this firmness for a few more moments while I finalize the preparations for my final ultimate technique. I have full confidence in your abilities and determination. Remember that our teamwork is the key to overcoming any challenge. Keep the pressure on and don't let your guard down. Together, we can turn the tide of this battle and protect our loved ones.
Understood, Mr. Piccolo. I'll not allow them to advance a single step further. You can trust me. I'm fully prepared to take on this responsibility and keep these creatures at bay. Together, we can overcome this and protect our loved ones. My determination's unwavering, and I'll not back down in the face of this challenge, because I know that every stroke I stop here is a step towards victory. Our teamwork and mutual trust will give us the strength to prevail in this battle. Let's show them what we're capable of and write our own destiny in this struggle.
The scene unfolds with increasing intensity as Gohan definitively plunges into the maelstrom of combat. His determination is reflected in every gesture, and every tense muscle, and in every flash of energy that emanates from his being. The creatures summoned by Takagami's nightmarish creatures with twisted shapes and burning eyes fiercely advance towards Gohan, seeking to overwhelm him with their numbers and their uncontrolled fury. Gohan, however, is not daunted. His ki shines around him like an aura of power, marking every movement with a clear purpose. When the first creature lunges with sharp claws, Gohan responds with a precise block, channeling his energy to stop the attack with a glowing barrier. The resulting impact makes the ground tremble under his feet, but Gohan remains steadfast, his eyes fixed on his opponent. Each subsequent blow is an exhibition of martial skill and ki control. Gohan moves with grace and speed, dodging the onslaughts of creatures with fluid movements, and countering with calculated blows. His fists and legs turn into bursts of energy, hitting the enemies with force and precision. Each impact causes bursts of energy that light up the battlefield, drawing bright arcs in the air and kicking up swirls of dust around them. The creatures do not retreat easily. Their resistance is stubborn, and their thirst for destruction is insatiable. Gohan is forced to deploy more advanced techniques, combining his speed and strength with concentrated energy attacks. Ki waves cut through the air as Gohan releases bursts of controlled energy, seeking to weaken his opponents and open gaps in their defenses. Every block, every dodge, is a dance of anticipation and reaction. Gohan relies on his training and his intellect, reading the movements of the creatures, responding with precise movements. Your connection to your spiritual energy is evident in every movement, every pulse of energy emanating from your being. Meanwhile, Piccolo completes the charge of his definitive technique, his absolute concentration palpable in the air. The sound of his pent-up energy resonates on the battlefield, adding a layer of palpable tension to the charged atmosphere of battle. Gohan feels Piccolo's accumulated power as a beacon of hope and a call to redouble his efforts.
This is our chance, Gohan. Keep the pressure on them, and don't give them any respite. Every move of yours is crucial right now, as we are close to changing the course of this battle. I trust in your ability to keep them at bay, while we prepare our counterattack. Keep your determination, and keep going. Together, we can make it happen.
Gohan nods with determination as he prepares for the next attack. The combat dance between Gohan and the creatures reach its climax when Gohan, with a graceful twist, unleashes a series of energy blasts that cut through the enemy ranks. The creatures recoil momentarily, their twisted forms showing signs of weakness for the first time.
Goten! Trunks! I need you to be alert! Mr. Piccolo is preparing a powerful attack! Move quickly and maintain your defenses! Our coordination is crucial at this critical moment of the battle. We can't afford to make mistakes now. I'm confident in your ability to respond quickly and effectively. Stay focused and keep fighting with determination. Come on, we can still turn the tide of this battle in our favor.
The moment came when Gohan, with a precise movement, opened a breach in the creature's defenses, allowing Piccolo to unleash his devastating attack. With a resounding scream, Piccolo releases his ultimate technique, a beam of concentrated energy that cuts through the sky like a fiery comet.
Makankasapo!
The pure energy swirls frantically around the lightning, forming a spiral of controlled energy that seems to dance in the air with calculated ferocity. The extreme concentration of energy causes a burst that radiates a dazzling radiance, as if the sun itself were transcending on the battlefield. The energy beam, with its incomparable power, transverses the enemy ranks with pinpoint accuracy, neutralizing the creatures with an amazing efficiency that takes the breath away of those who witness its devastating impact. The initial explosion is only the prelude to the destruction that is unleashed. The torrent of concentrated energy envelops the creatures in a lethal embrace, eroding their forms with an overwhelming intensity. Each wave of energy emanating from the ray is like a chisel, carving out space itself, gradually disintegrating the creatures that meet its path with an inexorable inevitability. The show is both majestic and terrifying, with the energy displayed manifesting in vibrant colors that collide and intertwine in a chaotic dance. The controlled destruction leaves in its wake a trail of disintegration that seems to defy the very laws of physics, demonstrating the supreme power that resides in the hands of those who master the arts of combat and energy control. The battlefield gradually quieted down, the dark threat dissipating with each defeated creature. Gohan and Piccolo, breathing heavily, but with a satisfied smile, met in the center of the battlefield, knowing that their teamwork and determination had tipped the scales toward victory. Now, with the road to Takamagami clear, they were preparing for the final assault, confident that their union would return their greatest strength. The battlefield gradually quieted down, the echo of controlled destruction echoing through the air as the enemy creatures vanquished before the combined might of Gohan and Piccolo. The glow of the dissipated energy hinted at the near victory, marked by the determination and teamwork of the brave warriors Z, Gohan, and Piccolo, breathing heavily but with a smile of satisfaction on their faces, met in the center of the battlefield, exchanging looks of complicity that spoke of a bond forged in battle and camaraderie. Meanwhile, in another part of the battlefield, Goku and Vegeta were facing Takagami in an epic duel that defied the limits of known power. With their faces marked with determination and their eyes shining with a fierce intensity, the two legendary Saiyans demonstrated once again why they were considered the most powerful warriors in the universe. His movements were like a whirlwind of quick attacks and precise defenses, each strike resounding like thunder in the energy-charged air.
Vegeta, keep the pressure on! Let's finish this together!
Of course, Kakarot! I'm not gonna let this guy beat us!
The intensity of their confrontation filled the battlefield, making the ground shake with every energy shock. Takagami, although powerful, was in a challenging position in the face of the unstoppable combination of Goku and Vegeta.
I'll not underestimate your power, Saiyans. I recognize their bravery, but their determination will not be enough to stop me. My strength is unshakable. My power is unstoppable. Get ready to face the real darkness.
Black girl,